Midweek time. Kyle has spoken. I guess we might as well go ahead and see what's up. We got a couple of days to go before we get back to. Actually, we got a lot of days to go. Well, I was thinking Monday. It's a Sunday night game, right? So prime time. Fam, Niners are shifting gears here suddenly after only 2 weeks of football in the 2022 season, which is shocking. Who's seen that coming? Nobody. There was talk about Niners QB1 Trey Lance making a return this season from the injury he sustained during the contest versus the Hawks. Coach Shanahan ended that speculation during today's midweek press conference, however. Tonight, going to the phones for your take on what you'll expect as the Niners suddenly transition offensively after only, as I mentioned, only 2 weeks. You're still in second gear after 2 weeks. Getting ready to go into third, draft that puppy to fourth. Third, and then fourth. Right. So we start anew. Also, Niners announced that they have promoted running back Marlon Mack to the active roster from the team's practice squad. I'm looking forward to seeing him run. You know, when you watch Marlon Mack on those clips, Marlon can run the ball. I don't know how quickly he's going to be able to acclimate with the 49ers. I'm pretty sure that Kyle's still going to stay with Jeffrey Wilson Jr. and maybe TDP, but he's going to be tempted most likely to get a heat check, which I'll be fine with. I just want to see if Marlon Mack is anything like Marlon Mack used to be. Oh, my God. In order to make room on the roster, the team placed Trey Lance on the IR, as you know, and Kyle pretty much has made that a final thing. There has been some chatter that Trey Lance might have returned this season after foot and ankle surgeon Dr. Kenneth Jung told the San Francisco Chronicle that Trey could fully recover within 10 to 12 weeks. Coach Shanahan shut that speculation down earlier today. As you may have already found out, Coach was asked if Lance might return sooner than the 49ers initially anticipated. As indicated by the article from the Chronicle, Shanahan responded with, quote, "No, he'll be out until next year." Reporter asked if he meant next season, as next year could mean the playoffs. Shanahan added to that, quote, "Next season. Thank you. That's what years mean to me." Unquote. The Niners also signed quarterback Kurt Benkert, and also Tevin Coleman's back to the team's practice squad, and released cornerback Kerry Vincent Jr. How long before Tevin Coleman gets into the game is what I'm wondering, because we can't keep a running back standing up. Oh, Jeffrey Wilson, be careful, man. Be careful. How do you run carefully? I don't know. But anyway, Mack originally signed to the team's practice squad on September 14th. And who was Kurt Benkert? Benkert originally entered the NFL after signing as a UDFA with the Atlanta Falcons back in May 1st of 2018. I imagine Tony knows. Tony gives some insights on this guy. Over the past 4 seasons with the Falcons, 2018 to 2020, and the Packers in 2021, Benkert has appeared in one game and spent time between the two teams' practice squads and active rosters. I know, right? 27-year-old native of Baltimore, Maryland, Benkert attended the University of Virginia, where he appeared in 24 games for the Cavaliers and competed 534 of 925 passes. Is that a little over 50%? Well, yeah, it's a little over 50%. For 5,759 yards and 46 TDs after transferring from East Carolina University. It doesn't really sound like a guy that's going to challenge Brock Purdy, though, does it? Well, again, I don't know that. I didn't know that much about Brock Purdy until we just got him on a team, and he doesn't look like any real slouch. GK, it looks like he'll be suiting up for this upcoming primetime Sunday night. GK was scheduled to be on the practice field this afternoon in Santa Clara, so I imagine he was. Coach Shanahan said Kittle would go through limited practice as the guys begin some preparation to face the Broncos this Sunday night. GK was inactive for the Niners' first 2 games, as you know, of the season due to that groin injury that would not leave him alone. If Kittle makes it through the week without any setbacks, all signs point toward him making his season debut live on Sunday night. This is going to be a good game. I just know it. Because I don't know how long Russell Wilson and that silly coach are going to stay dormant. I just don't want that bear to wake up because I'm telling you right now, although we talk about that toward the end of the week anyway. Anyway, a little bit more about the addition of quarterback Kurt Benkert. Coach was asked, you went to the quarterback store this week. Why QB Kurt Benkert? What caught your eye with him? To which Shanahan responded with, quote, he just had a good workout. Also, I think you can only have 6 veterans on your practice squad, so just thinking how to balance that out, and we liked what we saw, unquote. He's going to be this year's C.J. Beathard. He'll never get into a game. We'll probably run Juice out there to take snaps before we put him out there, but he's just out there just in case everybody goes down. And with this team, that's not always impossible, or that's not an outrageous thought. Another question from the media, he obviously is familiar with the offense. Was that a benefit for you? And Shanahan responded to that with somewhat, but it's not that familiar. It's still different stuff and different words. I think maybe some familiarity with style, but it's not as familiar as you would think, unquote. And a question concerning both Debo and Jimmy G. Last year, when the going got tough, you guys really relied on Debo Samuel offensively to move the ball. Are we at that point yet with now QB Jimmy Garoppolo being back at quarterback? more involvement with Debo in the offense, or is it going to try to be more of the same from what we saw in the first 2 weeks? Shanahan responded with, quote, I think Debo's been involved a ton in the first 2 weeks. I don't know how many carries or passes it's been, but he's been involved a lot. We don't see the way it ended last year. We don't see that quite soon, but you never know. Have to always balance it out and see how to best attack the defense to win on Sundays. Unquote. And then there's the next question. You guys spent all training camp putting a lot of new stuff for Trey and his skill sets. Obviously, you're not going to give it away, but how much of that do you keep, or do you just go straight back to last year's playbook with Jimmy? And, of course, Coach answered, we put all the same stuff in last year's too, so it is not as big a difference as people think. You're running really the exact same runs. Just do you want to get in pistol and read someone, or do you want to hand it off, not read them? So it doesn't change it as much as people think, unquote. Next question, how has Jimmy approached this week now that he's back in a starter's role? Has done anything noticeably different? Whether it's coming earlier, staying later, watching more film, going over data. Shanahan responded with, no, he was the same as he has been in the last 2 weeks and the same as he's been since he's been here. So he just got back into getting all the reps. We've done walkthroughs so far, so that was really the only thing that's changed. That kind of startled me. Shanahan, Jimmy hasn't been doing anything for the last 2 weeks. And Shanahan said he's doing pretty much the same thing he's doing the last 2 weeks. I'm not sure what to make of that. I don't know if that's I doubt if that's a good thing. He's got to be doing more than that. Well, maybe Shanahan only can answer that question in that way. And actually, Jimmy's obligated to do more than what he's been doing for the last 2 weeks before he got into that spot yesterday, because he wasn't doing anything. He was sitting back and looking at his computer and telling women all the time, "Nah, I don't think I can make." No, I've still got to be at the facility. No, I know I'm not playing, but I you don't understand. It's my job. I get paid a certain amount of money each year to make at least a participation. Hello. I don't know why she's getting pissed off. I told her, The life of JG. Bobo! He said, I still believe we'll win the Super Bowl this year. You never know. That's odds makers have already given us a boost as to where we were before this week, which is interesting. Scapelli's Appliance Repairs. Hey, can you please tell my son Isaiah to go to bed and not to worry? We got this W night Sunday. Isaiah, take it from me. Even if you don't trust your dad on these ball games, the Niners are definitely going to win. It's Sunday night. Think of it this way. On Sunday, Monday nights, the 49ers record is stellar. It doesn't matter who they're playing. They're most likely going to win, Isaiah. So tell everybody you know, all your friends, that not only did your dad say, but that guy named Ronbo said the same thing. If they have any problems, you tell them to call me or deal with your dad. We'll handle it. All right? And Isaiah, let me give you this. A Niners I want you to practice that and call in one of these times, and let me hear it, okay? We got this. Hey, let me go there where I know Bam and Boom are already in bed, but Papa Dragon's going to represent the two little ladies and Mama Dragon as well. Hey, Pop.
Hey, Ronbo.
Well, Pop, okay, here we go. And
Let's go.
I'm also concerned about Danny Gray's getting only 3 snaps last week, and some of the things that are But go ahead, Pop.
Is that all you're concerned about?
Oh, there's several things. I don't want to take up all your time. I want to see what you got to say because you have me belly aching. I'll go on for hours.
I got a few concerns, but I mean, I'm hearing some things. Okay. I'm hearing some things from some people, Ronbo.
Okay.
And what I'm basically hearing is a lot of excuses.
Yep,
I'm hearing no accountability. We have. I'm not saying the locker room is jacked up. It's not, but there are fractures in the 49ers culture. The team lacks leadership from the top. Their best leader, or the only person who tried to even take accountability and displayed true leadership, has a broken ankle right now, and he's 22 years old. I heard Jusek today, 95.7, compare Lance's injury to a coin flip, 50%. No matter how many times you flip the coin, he says, it's always going to be 50% odds. Okay? But guess what? If you have a choice of going 50% odds or going 1 in 6 odds, if you roll a dice which has 6 sides, me personally, I'm going to roll the dice. In the NFL, where they protect quarterbacks, we send quarterbacks up the middle. And again, not everybody is Lamar Jackson. Yep. And I don't even agree with them sending Lamar up the middle. But look who his offensive coordinator is. Okay.
And remember, he got hurt too.
Exactly. Exactamundo. He could have got hurt this weekend. Okay.
That 7-yard run. That was crazy.
Exactamundo. That's what the point I'm trying to put. It's all about if you have, and last but not least, Jamar Jackson cost 1 draft pick. Trey Lance cost 4 draft picks, 3 ones and a third. That's called an investment. So you need to tell me I'm going to take my investment and flip a coin whether or not he gets injured running the ball. That's not developing a quarterback. Okay. So between creating all this drama in the locker room, if you bring Jimmy back, he's been a quarterback for 5 years. What do you think most of these guys are going to do that's played with Jimmy? They're going to want Jimmy. They're going to want him. You saw what they looked like when Jimmy came in the game. It looked like a different team. Yeah. Okay. We have a situation right now where our left tackle, the highest paid left tackle in the league, doesn't look like the best left tackle in the league.
He has had a few mishaps, hasn't he? Yeah.
Yes. And McGlinchey, that's because they are not prepared. They're not in shape. They are not prepared. And at the end of this big old spiel of mine is Kyle Shanahan. Kyle Shanahan is no leader. He ain't. He doesn't lead that locker room. The locker room leads him. And that's what I was told today. I was told today that he was basically a fart away from a full-on mutiny if they would have lost this game. Because the reality is that these vets that have played with Garoppolo for 5 years are looking at Garoppolo and saying, how come you're not playing? Why aren't you playing? Didn't you lead us to the Super Bowl? Didn't you bring us back from the ashes? Why did they treat you like crap? So a head coach that's got to bring 12 to 15 players into his office and try to sell them on Trey Lance, that's not a leader. The locker room is
Pop, it sounds like he didn't know how to handle that situation. Like you said, with mutiny on the bounty, he was looking out trying to save his life before they hung him up.
Listen, the reality is this. Anyone sitting there talking about Super Bowl odds and Super Bowl, you better not look past Denver, because guess what? We're about to take our out-of-shape butts to altitude. Because our best players did not play in preseason. They ain't ready to play. Now, I'm not trying to be negative. I'm being realistic.
Yeah, that's true, though.
Realistic.
You don't want to play in Denver and be in bad shape.
Have you ever went outside and jogged, Ronbo? And then get on a plane and then go fly to Denver and go jog? I've done that before. That ain't no joke, Ronbo. That ain't no joke. I've done it.
I mean, you don't even
Okay?
have to do that. I've been there. I went to the Grand Canyon. We walked up a small hill to a little restaurant. I said, I call myself in shape, but I'm worn out here. Yeah, you're right.
And then number two, same thing. He knew Trey Lance wasn't ready. We all knew Trey Lance wasn't ready. The minute he re-signed Garoppolo, he should have been like, we're going to be splitting the snaps. He should have did something. Okay, because if your kid's not ready and your idea of getting them ready is to run them, okay, put it in perspective. Arizona game, he ran 16 times. 16 times he ran the ball. Okay, on the called runs, he averaged 3.2 yards a carry on called running back quarterback plays, right? But when he scrambled, he got 13 yards a pop. And I said this to you. I said many things to you here that I want acknowledgement for. I said Hufango's a bad boy. He's going to be all right. I told you that. I drafted him. I told you he's going to be a bad man. But I also told you that Trey Lance is going to get hurt. I'm glad they got Garoppolo because I'm figuring, okay, he'll get a high ankle sprain or shoulder stinger or something. He makes 2-4 weeks, whatever. But they got Garoppolo based on how they're playing him.
Yeah.
You don't do what has been done. And the locker room looks bad to a lot of fans right now. And it looks cancerous to a lot of fans right now. And as fans, okay, fans of the 49ers, you guys got to come together because it is what it is. They don't care about what we think. They're going to move forward as it is. And we all need to rally around Garoppolo. I only hope this moving forward, Ronbo. I hope that Jimmy G, and I don't know if you've noticed his snarky comments. Oh, yeah, I would play it like this in a long time. This is different. What he meant is that he was throwing the ball down the field. So I think that you might have been right.
Yeah.
I think you might have been right when you said that you think that Shanahan kind of holds Garoppolo back. I think that you are partially correct there. I really do. So the real question is,
he didn't look like that in Patriotville. And I said, I'm pretty sure Jimmy's running Kyle's offense like Kyle wants him to. And he tried to make Trey stick to that book too. He's got this thing about, listen, this works because of this, and this.
Yep. Because Kyle Shanahan is an arrogant, entitled Mitzelplick. That's what he is. He's arrogant and he's entitled. He wants you to run his system. And he wants you to run the system the way that he wants it run.
Because of his superior knowledge and intelligence of the game. Pop,
I'm
telling you, and I can go on for the next 2 hours, but we got to stop.
Oh,
damn,
God.
good
right,
stuff. I love it.
Hey, Ronbo, shout out to you. Shout out to production. Please like and subscribe to Ronbo Sports. Thanks, you guys are in the chat talking smack. Hit that like button. Let's go.
That's what they do. Thanks, fam. Bam and boom. Give my best. And Mama Dragon, too. I'll see. Hey, Pop, I'll be back Friday night and see what develops between now and then. Hey, thanks for keeping us abreast as to what's going on. You got your ear on the wall of all the noise. I love it. We'll talk to you. We'll see you Friday.
Oh, I got so much, dude. It's crazy.
Oh, God. It's scary. All right, fam. Have a great night.
All right.
There's Pop out in Tennessee. Hey, Dre, get your San Francisco self in here. One of the only people that can complain he was born and raised in San Francisco. Yo, Dre. Dre, is that you sipping on a straw? Dre.
What's up, dog? What's up, dog?
There you go. Well, Dre, we're looking at the change here and trying to what to make of it. We got as we thought, they hustled in a new quarterback. And
what?
Oh, yeah.
Man, you just got played. You just got played. It was me.
You did a good job, Pop. What's wrong with him? Dre, would you get in there before Pop does me again? Okay. Sick man, Pop.
Ronbo.
There he is. All right. Hey, Dre.
What up with you, man?
Dre, man, we're sitting back here and we're watching this shift. And we know that's why I said by Wednesday we're probably going to get some some pieces of things that Pop just brought up that was wall crashing, and also we're looking at the fact that Kyle went ahead and said no, there's not going to be any Week 14 return. He is not going to be back until next season. We're talking about Trey, of course. We picked up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we picked up the running back that we had a year ago. Some of the things that are going on. It doesn't seem like, and then they ask him, so is there a difference in Jimmy? That was not doing pretty much the same thing he was doing the last couple of weeks. Kyle doesn't want to talk to anybody. Dre, if you get that sense, he doesn't want to let you in on things. Unfortunately, Pop's got some connections, and we found out some things that we'd never find out about. But go ahead.
I feel that Kyle can't talk to nobody because he got his head up his. You know the rest of that statement, but Kyle remind me of how my grandfather used to tell me back in the day. He said, "You know how you be at one stop sign, which is life, and if you go through the stop sign of life and make correct decisions, it will be peaceful and peachy. It won't be the best of the best, but you will get to where you need to be. But now, if you want to cut corners and shave corners, you're going to end up at another stop sign, which is really across the street from the stop sign you should have begun
running the risk
first time."
Yep.
So basically, that's what Kyle's doing. And I really don't know what to say about homie. I mean, it ain't looking too bright. I'm picking with Jimmy, let's go Jimmy. I feel bad for Trey. Freak injuries happen. And it's Kyle's fault, but it is what it is. It happened. It's over. It's time to go on to the next game. And I don't know. I feel like Kyle, he ran Trey 13.5 times. 10 people was ran 12.5 times.
Get out. Are you serious? Did they almost run the same amount of times? You see, I don't keep track of these numbers. I'm just watching the game, right? But when I find out about these numbers, then you're overwhelmed by it. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, and I was like, wait a minute. How is he? How do he got more yards than your running backs? He's your leading rusher.
Well, he shouldn't be. He shouldn't have that volume of carries. I mean, he shouldn't be keeping up with Debo. Debo's carrying the ball a lot as it is too. So and
I'm getting crucified. I'm getting crucified and asked questions by tons of fans. They're like, "How you feel about your coach Kyle now? The genius." I'm like, I'm not ready to. Kyle, please don't let me catch you at the store. Man, I'm
Would you tell him how you felt?
Be like, look, simplify it. Simplify the shit, Kyle. All these X's and O's, get here, line up here to do this trick play, which is equal out to this play anyway.
But Drake,
just line up.
Does it appear that Kyle may be confused as to how to use Trey right now? I sometimes I see him doing things. He's got to let Trey plays break down. But in the meantime, let him be a quarterback, Kyle.
I never seen a quarterback that Kyle built up. Show me one. I've seen some he tore down. I've seen 3. He tore them down. Almost ruined their career.
Except for Money Man over in Cleveland. He didn't have a chance to do him because
Kyle didn't have a chance to do nothing with him. He did RG3. He did Jimmy, and now Trey. At first, I thought it was Jimmy. He was brittle. He was this, and everybody was ragging on him. But now, after seeing the way he play a mobile quarterback, ain't no different. I'm just praying Jimmy stay upright, and we win, and we take the hardware home, because I'm tired of getting to the dance, Ronbo, and just dance. Ain't no moral victories in just going to the Super Bowl. He's saying every year, well, at least we win, though. At least we win. Where's your hardware? Where's your, I'm tired of that argument.
You can't keep going there and coming out dry. It is the toughest game in the world to win, though. Everything has to be lined up perfectly. Now, that's what they've got to do if they get back there again. It's hard to get there to begin with. And then when you get there, please don't lose.
What more do he need now? He got a complete team. He got running backs. He got all his wide receivers. Ain't nobody hurt on defense, offense. You got
a better team than it was last
year.
On
cylinders.
Yeah,
so there's no excuses. Everybody 5 years strong in the game. So it's number 6, ain't no excuses. It's either bring home the championship or it's a buck, in my opinion.
It's all about the injuries, Drake.
What you feel,
they got it.
If ain't no injuries, ain't no freak injuries. Ain't no freak injuries now, if we just healthy, or we, how we do it, we drag ourselves to the dance. But at the same time, we there. So we got to play. That's the way I see it. We got to play ball, and we got to bring home some hardware finally. I'm tired of that argument. There's no hardware.
Yeah, especially that's 3, and we got 0 out of it. We should have had at least 1 that we could take quest for 6. Nobody even says that anymore.
Let me ask you a question, Ronbo, before I go, which is, what do you feel should happen if we bring home no hardware and we ain't really got the injuries?
Well, I don't know. That's a really hypothetical. You can't answer that question because it depends on how they lose. If they go in and they just really screw up the place and stink it up and they lose, then of course you got to think about blowing up the team, right? If they go in there and it's a near miss, well, like last time, you say, well, let's give it another shot.
I mean, why don't you blow it? You can't do nothing really too much with certain players anyway. They wanted to play with a veteran player. They in their prime. They ain't got time to trade. That's what everybody say, right?
Well, no, you get some of those primetime players, and you see if you can get some first-round draft picks if you want to go that route. Since the 49ers do like to go that route.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you like George Kittle. You possibly think about Debo. All the guys you can get 2 and 3 first-rounders for, you go ahead and do it. And I guess you start all over with the rebuild. You're going to piss off a lot of people as far as the fan base goes, and maybe you got a future with that. But Drake,
but everybody in their prime and they ready to win games. So y'all understand that if we don't bring home the hardware. All right, y'all. Y'all be easy, man.
All right, Drake. We'll see you Friday, fam. And we go to Chill, Pill, Phil.
Well, Ronbo.
Phil, you know what? Pop brought up something that, and I know you're sometimes you're privy to some information that not all of us are.
The locker room's fine. He doesn't know what he's talking about, first of all.
Okay.
They're getting behind Jimmy. They were behind Trey. Bottom line is, Trey lost the first game, okay? He threw a pick. He didn't look good. He lost it. Jimmy won the second game. So let's put it where the facts that are true.
But Phil, do you think the patience was going to be?
Kyle doesn't trust Trey's passing ability because he's got that big loop in his throw, just like Kaepernick did. It's a problem. He's going to have to work on it. The other thing is the doctor can be right and Kyle can be right. The doctor says he can play in 10 weeks. Kyle says, no, he's not going to play this year. Probably because Trey needs some work. He needs some work fixing that passing, that throw. But that's the problem.
Phil, do you think that's
Jimmy's
why he was
going to make our offensive line look a lot better because he's got a quicker release on pass blocking. So, and the other thing is, all these people are knocking our offensive line. Who do you think the highest 2 PFF scores are on our team? Banks is number 1.
Yeah.
And Trent Williams is number 2. So, yeah, the offensive line has been doing well. Brendel's the weakest guy, but
at the worst position to be
the rest of the guys have been playing really well, especially on run blocking.
Yeah, because Burford's been doing a good job, and that's what McGlinchey does. That's easy to believe. Phil, would that attribute to Kyle ran Trey seemingly a lot?
How many times did he run that game? How many times?
3 times. You
3
talk about
times.
This past game, yeah.
2 series, 3 times. Boy, that's a lot. Wow.
No, Phil. I know the reason I say that is because normally, you would expect a little more of the running back activity there, right? Because you want to soften up that defensive line. This thing everybody was talking about before the game even started, the season even started, says, well, Trey's going to open up the run game, because I didn't know they were talking about using him as a run option. I was thrown off on that. So I guess everybody who said that, it's true. Trey's one of the runners out there.
He was. And he was supposedly, that's why we drafted him.
Ooh.
Because he can run.
Yeah.
Wow. Get over it.
Yeah.
Jimmy's our guy now. Put the fat head back up.
No, not put that fat head back up. Oh.
And we're going to win
death threats. I mean, okay, if we win the Super Bowl, Jimmy is going back up. I'm still going to collect
but
the hate.
But then it's too late. He's going to be gone as a free agent.
That's true.
So he'll get paid. he'll get paid, and we will get a high compensation pick.
That's right, huh?
Just like if we traded him. So this is working out good for the Niners. And as far as Kyle goes, anybody that thinks he's not a good coach has got to have their head examined. Because I think every team, including the Rams, would rather have Kyle than anybody else.
I can agree with that. I'll bet they would.
So,
Marketing Pro, that
and
was
we've
for you.
got the best roster. We've got the best roster by a lot of pundits say we do than anybody in the league, and that's because Kyle and John Lynch have been pretty good at drafting in the late rounds. Come on.
I agree. We got a better organization.
I mean, our safeties right now, which I thought was going to be one of our weaker spots, is the best in the league.
Talanoa?
Well, Hufanga and Gibson. They're
Yeah,
number
Gibson
one
did
and,
look.
number-
He does
number
look good.
5.
He's filling in for Jimmy nicely. How many INTs does Jimmy have in his entire career? Gibson's already got one. He's only been out there 2 games.
No, I don't always agree with Pro Football Focus, but they always grade their players the same, and they look at every play. I mean, Hufanga's number 2 of all the safeties, next to the kid from Pittsburgh.
Minka.
But,
not Minka. Fitzpatrick.
Fitzgerald or Mitchell.
Fitzpatrick is
Yeah,
number
anyway.
1? Wow, he is doing
Yeah,
a
he's
good
the
job.
best safety as far as PFS is concerned. Hufanga's number 2, which is hard to believe the way Hufanga's been playing.
Yeah.
But,
I want to see Fitzpatrick play now. He's supposed to be really
and
kicking
then
ass.
Ward at corner, he's been playing well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where we've improved the most is our defensive backfield. Our defense, and I don't know where Texas boys come in challenging our defense because we're number 1 in yards allowed and number 3 in scoring. So, I mean, our defense is good.
And the
really
depth
good.
is ridiculously talented. I love that defensive front.
Oh, yeah.
So,
And I'm glad Greenlaw signed an extension. Now we've got our linebackers for a long time.
Yeah.
And the defensive line we're going to have for a long time. They're going to sign Bosa.
goes without saying.
So, we're going to be in the mix with that defense every year going out for at least the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, John Lynch believes in that. We're probably going to draft some monster next year as well. Yeah, it's just the way it goes.
Well, I'm hoping we get a center. I think that's where we need to.
Yeah, because Brindle's going to get.
And we don't have, we pay off the mortgage for Trey next year. So
yeah, that's the last first rounder.
then
That's true.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But we're going to get, we're going to get for Jimmy, we'll probably get a third, a compensation pick. That's better than a lot of people thought we'd get.
That's gonna retrieve the one we gave up for him. Yeah.
And if Jimmy stays healthy, I think we're
at least we're going to compete. I mean, they've competed every time he stayed out there. If history is going to repeat itself, yeah, we should still compete for sure.
Now, winning the hardware or bust, I think that's a little much. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
You've got to have everything go right.
It's always
Injuries, plays, ball bounces, fumbles,
referees,
things like that. You've got to have stuff go right to win a Super Bowl.
Well, Phil, listen, we're going to stop here. I tell you what, though, I look for you Friday. I always love the way you calmly come in, set things straight. that's a style of yours.
Well, we're gonna give Russ a hard time Sunday night.
Got to.
And then we go into the Rams game 2-1 and bust their butt.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
I don't even know why the Falcons didn't beat them the other day. I love it. I can't wait to play them. Phil, we'll see you Friday.
Yep. All right, Ronbo. Take care.
All right, fam.
Bye.
Bye. Barack 09 says Trey's already at Jim's spot, but worse. Year and a half, already 3 injuries. No consistently accurate balls, injury prone. Okay, I'm going to let everybody read that one. Barack 09. Thanks for that contribution, though. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Ronbo.
Tony, it's funny that you come in just right around now because here's the thing: you got a perspective from Phil, and you got Papa Dragon. Are you somewhere in the middle, or you leaning left or right there, with Pop being on the right? Let's put Pop on the left and Phil on the right.
You know,
What do you think here? Because I thought the locker room. Go ahead.
you know me, I'm more towards going up and giving Kyle Shanahan a smack in the teeth. But
there you go. You're on the left.
And it's very hard to disagree. I find it very hard to disagree with Phil, but this time I'm going to have to, right? Because the guy's a control freak, and Jimmy did come out and say,
called him out on that one,
this
didn't he?
felt like
in public.
2000. This felt like 2017 all over again. So we know 2017
I can go out and make plays.
was all Jimmy.
Yeah.
All right, because we had a shitty O-line. We were down in dumps, and Carl just threw him out there and said, show us what you can do. After that, he put the restrictor plates on him. All right?
And Tony, when I say that after Jimmy started looking different, well, it looks like he regressed. In 4 or 5 months, I think he's trying to learn Kyle's playbook. Oh, right. I knew it.
All quarterbacks regress under Kyle Shanahan because he puts the restrictor plates on him. And now as far as Trey goes, all right, I know what Phil said, but Phil, do you think that someone like Andy Reid would put Patrick Mahomes in harm's way like that?
Oh, hell no.
And you've got to think about one thing, all right? This kid's young. He's got no experience, all right? Everyone's complaining about he's got no experience. Of course he hasn't. He hasn't played a full season in the NFL, and you're going to run him through to in between 200-300 pounders. I'll pay Kyle Shanahan.
Those Hawks are big.
$10,000, right? Send him down here. I'll pay him $10,000. Right, I'll get 2 front row forwards from the NRL, 6'6" guys, and I'll dare him to run full speed ahead straight into them. Right?
I bet that would hurt. He may not feel it. Could knock him completely out.
He won't like it. They said about Mike McDaniel that remember they were calling him crazy because he was going to keep Tua and that Tua was dead and he was nothing and all this stuff.
Tua looks damn good to me.
People like, there's a human element to this game, Ronbo, right? Sometimes you need to put your arm around the person and give them a little bit of confidence, give them a man hug and say, you be cool, man. No worries.
Yeah.
Right?
Agreed.
This guy does not do that. Kyle Shanahan doesn't do that. It's my way. He's a control freak. I told you. Look up the word narcissist, read about it, and you'll see what this guy's all about. He's the same as his father. All right? What did they do to RG3? It's like he's trying to do the same thing to prove a point, right? To avenge maybe his father getting sacked. Well, if this guy don't wake up, someone's going to tap him on the shoulder and piss him off, right? Because you see what players play for coaches that care. They don't want to play for assholes. And as far as I'm concerned, if we win the Lombardi this year, it's going to be off the back of our players. I understand Kyle can design plays and do things like that, but he's got a care factor of 0 when it comes to, why are you running the kid like that for? Why? If he's got no experience, it's a 2 big, huge dudes. Why not run him around? Doesn't that make more sense? Run him around the bloke. Or get him to extend the play like Russell Wilson. Pocket breaks down, run around, gives him more time to throw the ball, gives the receivers more time to stay open. No. You do what I say. That's how his dad was with RG3.
Yeah. And that's because they're looking at kids that don't know any better. Now, they could never do that with Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. This is why when people always says, we could have picked up Brady, we put about Rodgers. You guys don't understand. Kyle can't control those 2 guys. What's his name? What's his name had trouble in Green Bay when he went on LaFleur. all hell broke out when they got together.
Rodgers and Brady have the green light to change the play at the line of scrimmage if they want to, whenever they want to, Ronbo. That doesn't fly with Kyle because it's not him in control. Right? Andy Reid said to Kermit the Frog when they were playing against us in the Super Bowl, trust your eyes, kid. All right? Trust your eyes. Let's get out there. If you see something better, go for it. Let's see what happens.
Tony, we got to go.
Can
but
you
know
imagine
what?
Kyle saying that to Jimmy
No,
or to
because
Trey?
you can't feel that you do need to be more intelligent than your players in that position, but you can't impose that on them all the time. You've got to instill some confidence in them. Let them make a decision on their own every now and then. When they lose it, screw it up, then they'll come back to you for advice anyway. I don't know. Read a book or some guys on that.
You've got to empower your players.
Tony, we gotta go.
And
I love you. I love the stuff. We gotta stop. The production's keeping on me on the time. Tony, let me see you Friday, okay? All right, fam.
No worries. Shout out to everyone and see you in the next chapter.
Looking forward to it. Cheers, Tony.
Cheers, brother.
And hey, Casey. Oh. Robert Stammer says, let me know when you have the MVP Hufanga jersey. There's a guy we should put up on the wall, right? Put up Hufanga. He's going to the Hall of Fame at some point. Let's get him up there now. Casey.
Reverend Ronbo, what's shaking, man?
Casey, we all usually start with a certain topic, and then it gravitates in all directions. And from what you've heard so far, at some point, last year we started talking badly about Kyle Shanahan in the middle of the season. After we went 3-5, everybody wanted Kyle Shanahan brought out, stripped naked, and whipped to death, right, online, so everybody could watch him scream. Now we're heading that direction already. Casey, is Kyle being prosecuted properly, or you think it's a little bit much? I'm becoming neutral on this because I think if we improve, everybody's going to get over this. If we go south further, there's going to be more venom being spat. What are you thinking as we make this transition?
No, I don't think Kyle has faced enough scrutiny yet. I mean, the guy just doesn't make adjustments. After Trey went out, he still kept running Jimmy. He ran Jimmy so many times late in the game, and that fourth down to go forward up 20 at the 11 and then settle for the field goal at the 3, it really concerns me, and I don't see the 49ers getting past the wild card, but.
I remember it's NFC West.
It's a long season.
It
bothers me that people always, every time that we talk about 3-5, because they started 2-4, and I remember 2-4 more than 3-5.
You're right. We had to go through that first. I forgot the sequence.
Yeah, but they finished third in the NFC West, so I don't know, man. It's a long season. I haven't seen enough from Kyle. And actually, it concerns me hearing what Juice said today on
the
50-50
game. Thing? Flip a coin?
Yeah, because it sounded to me like he's a little bit brainwashed and, kind of sticking up for Kyle and everything. It's not that Kyle runs Trey, and it's not that he runs Trey up the middle. It's the frequency of which he does it that is disturbing, and I'm definitely worried for Jimmy. I'm worried for anyone in this system. They just got Tevin Coleman back, on the practice squad and stuff. I don't think he's using Ayuk right. I definitely don't think he's using Debo right. Debo's on pace to be the next person to injure themselves from being a 49er and running the ball so many times. I heard what Kyle Juszczyk said today about like setting up for later in the season, and that's why they're running so much and stuff. And that's kind of what I've seen with Kyle for a long time now is he plays not to lose, and you got to play to win. And I don't know. I feel bad for people. I know Brandon Ayuk wants to get onto another team.
You think
I know
so?
Brandon Ayuk is thinking, yeah, 100%.
He didn't look very happy last year. But, it's yesterday he had a drop. If he was perfect, I could see where he might be able to. Brandon Ayuk is one of the best route runners, though. He's got to be in the league. That guy can bust ankles. So,
Well, he took such a big jump after his first year, and I think physically he took a jump, mentally he took a jump, emotionally. I see some of the stuff Brandon does on the field, and I just go, how is this guy not the true number one receiver on this team?
Yeah, that's. Well, what's really funny? Actually, I think he is, because Debo is not really. Debo's everything you want him
He's
to
not.
be.
Debo doesn't do the wide out post corner routes and stuff like that, and the deep downfield just jets and stuff like that. I don't see that from Debo.
Well, he just doesn't have that kind of. Here's the thing about Debo. What's really
he's been eating too much. He got paid.
Yeah, the thing is, I think Kyle likes using him in the way he's using him right now, and let Ayuk do the route running. And have you noticed, Juwan Jennings is getting a lot of touches too. I imagine George is going to get his looks this week as well. So Debo's going to end up being the running back, because Elijah Mitchell isn't going to be back for God knows how long, and Jeffrey Wilson Jr. is going to need some help out there as his TDP because he just got here. Well, yeah, there's your offensive attack right there.
Yeah, well, it's
Twally
a good thing
needs to
they
get
still
more
have Robbie
time,
Gould,
too,
because
though.
if this team had no special teams, they wouldn't even be in the conversation of Super Bowl.
I gotta wait to see what they look like in 3 weeks, because the beginning of the season, all teams look a little strange. Look at Indy. They got their brains beat out by the Jaguars. Of course, Jaguars do seem to own that team. But the Cowboys got past the Browns.
It's Matt Ryan, and Trevor Lawrence played really well.
And he was probably due to.
Yeah.
Still,
I'm probably going to take the Jaguars, the Jets, and the Lions on Sunday, actually.
Wait a minute. Be careful, Casey. Who are the Jags playing this week? They're not playing Indy.
You know what, Ronbo? I forget, but off the top of my head, I remember looking at it and thinking that I owe it to Jacksonville because they've showed me enough.
Right.
And I think the Lions have showed me enough, and the Jets have showed me that they do not quit. So
Robert Saleh's got him. He's thinking, I tell you, keep an eye on the Jets.
No, he's playing possessed. Yeah.
Well, Casey.
So shout out to your boy Bobby Saleh. And
yes.
I know you're kicking me out the door.
Yeah,
and, I hope
getting pressured.
I hope you get that fat head. And I don't know why you haven't thrown it back up yet, Ronbo. But shout out to Brunskill. Shout out to you, Ronbo. Thank you, production. And I'll see you in the next chapter.
Thanks,
right,
Casey. Looking for you Friday. Have a great night. Hey, yo, Ellis. Ellis. Come on in, Ellis. All right, we'll come back to Ellis. Hey, Rudy. Wait, this can't be Rudy. I just realized there's only one Rudy that calls here. It's that Rudy? Oh, there he is, sitting up in all of his glory.
Rambo.
Rudy, yes.
I just wanted to know. Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Rambo. Go ahead.
Well, I was just laughing about that escape you made. You guys did a Houdini against the Falcons, huh? That was pretty interesting.
Well, unfortunately, the NFL knows that the Super Bowl champions and the Bills will get big ratings. Yeah. If they wanted a good game, they would have scheduled it about week 5 or week 6 because we're retooling. We have new pieces, and but it is what it is. But God bless you guys, Ronbo. You got your guy back. Kyle Shanahan showing his incompetent self again. He couldn't cut the umbilical cord to Jimmy Garoppolo, and now he has your guy back, Ronbo. So God bless you, and God bless Trey. I wish that he didn't get hurt. I personally didn't think he was that good anyway. but he who knows, right? Because nobody's seen enough of him. Unfortunately, he's going to go into his third year with the Niners and still only have less than 5 games under his belt.
Yeah, that's a real scary thing. I'm not sure what they're going to do with that.
And he's such a good kid. I don't like injuries. Injuries suck. We have our own injuries, and but yeah, at least you guys have. And the thing that sucks though is Kyle Shanahan does not get called out for his incompetencies. The only one who does it is me and Grant Cohn. We're the only two that call him out, because I always say all the time, what is Kyle's record? Like the great late Denny Green, you are what your record is. The guy is 8-20, 8-32 without Jimmy Garoppolo. Then here's Jimmy again saving his bacon. Amazing. The guy acts like he won 2 Super Bowls back to back, the way he's arrogant with the reporters. And but he is a great schemer. But yeah, Ronbo, the same thing with our teams. Like, I don't know if you guys are gonna have Jimmy Ward when you guys play us.
No.
We're not gonna have
back for about 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, and then we're not gonna have Troy Hill. And we already lost our center for a few games. And so, like I said, injuries suck.
And by the way, Rudy, where's Whitworth? Is he not Whitworth, but Noteboom?
Yeah, he's babying his injury. He's right now we're the walking wounded right now. Luckily the guy Coleman Shelton has filled in good. We had a much better run with our guys.
That you're running this down because you're letting me know in advance so you can say 2 weeks from now, well, I told you guys we weren't in the best of shape. So we'll give you this one, and we'll see you next time.
No, I mean, of course, Ronbo, you want to get all the wins, right? So we play you guys. We were hoping to play Trey. I told you I wanted to play Trey. I wanted to see how he did with Leonard Floyd and AD coming after him, but it's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to it, but I hate injuries. We haven't even had see what Ronbo, people don't realize, and the media don't say it. They're crowning the Bills Super Bowl champions after 2 games. We haven't even played Von Jefferson yet. And so
I tell you what, though, the Bills are going to be under. Oh, I'm telling you, the spotlight's going to be big. That Dolphins team is not to be messed with. I can't wait to see the Bills. I would have said 2 weeks ago, the Dolphins probably do a good job, and they're not going to beat the Bills. Oh, the Bills and the Bills got some key injuries too. If I had to bet, and if I was a betting guy, I got broke up a few years ago, but I would bet on the Dolphins this game.
You know what? Amazing 6 touchdowns. Are you serious? 6 touchdowns by them. This season's so weird. Look at the Bengals are 0-2. And they retooled their whole offensive line, and it's crazy.
Last year.
And then the Raiders, the poor Raiders and Circus, they're over there Circus, and they had that game. They had that game, and Arizona came back. Kyler Murray did his homework, I guess, and so we'll see what happens, Ronbo.
But did you see the celebration in Raiderville in the stands? They were up there popping champagne and shaking it all up and shooting all over the place. Here comes Kyler Murray, touchdown! Cardinals.
I loved it. I loved it. But you know what, Ronbo? Like I said, we need you guys. I want to play you guys at your tip-top best. Like I said, I really honestly believe those wars against you guys, punching us in the mouth, and then we came back at you guys in the last game, and then in the OT game, it was tug of war. Those games helped us when we struggled against other teams, especially in the Super Bowl, when everybody except for Cooper Kupp was willing to make some plays. So that's what you need. You need some of that.
You're thanking the 49ers for finally making you guys unsoft, because you guys do have a softness problem.
Well, it's not the soft thing. It's the Raheem Morris was on my S list for a long time last year, and then finally he figured out. Well, wait a minute, Jimmy doesn't throw deep. We're giving the plays in front of him that he likes to throw.
You may see that now because Jimmy already told Kyle, listen, let me throw the friggin' ball. Basically is what he told him. So I want to give something different with that.
I want to give you a quick stat real quick before I go, Ronbo. I know you have other callers.
You got 10 seconds. Can you do it in 10 seconds? Otherwise,
okay. Let me see if I can find it again. I had it. Hold on.
Okay, listen. You have to wait till next time. Rudy, it's always fun. We'll talk to you. If you got time for us, come back Friday. Well,
real quick. Let me give it to Tony. Has anyone seen Tony?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Rudy,
okay.
Rudy,
well, the Dirty Birds, Ronbo, just real quick. Tony was talking all that smack, and they.
Yeah, Rudy, Save it. I'm curious, but production's not playing. I knew you'd like that, JJ. It is. It looks like the incredible one, the great Bozzini. Buzz.
Ronbo.
Shabazz. Come on in, Shabazz. You know how we do. We have taken one subject and it's branched off in several different ways. Grab onto anyone you want. We're shifting gears. It seems we have to in week 2. Speculations going wild as to what Kyle's saying. Because what we do is we listen to what Kyle says and we start interpreting in our own mind what he's thinking. When really, I don't know if any of us are on target. I quit trying to do that. I just know that Kyle does insist. I don't know how much he insists, but I know Kyle likes you to run things the way he wants you to run them. But I don't know if that's always a bad thing. That is a leadership in certain fashion that some people may not appreciate. But Shabazz, what are you thinking here from what you've heard so far tonight?
I'm thinking I want everybody to hold everybody on this team accountable. Hold Jimmy accountable when Jimmy mess up. Hold Kyle accountable when he called bad plays. If Kyle has to go after this year and we don't make the playoffs, we better move fast and grab Sean Payton before Dallas does, because that's the only thing that worries me if we're going to get rid of him. I like Lynch more than I like Kyle. If we're going to make a move, I want to keep John Lynch, and I would want to go my separate way than Kyle, because like what Phil said earlier, I don't know if it was Phil or one of the guys that got the British accent. Kyle is low-key
that's Tony.
A narcissist. And Tony, yeah,
that's an Australian accent, too. Go ahead.
Yeah, Australian accent. The King's English now, not the Queen's English. But he's a narcissist, and we know that. So we got to get past the fact that we know that he's a narcissist. They know we can do about it. Another thing that I want to address is what everybody's talking about earlier. I'm not sold on the Bills. I keep telling you that. I said that the last call. But what this team reminds me of is the John Lynch team that had a great defense that beat up on the Raiders. So if we do win this thing, we're going to win this thing purely on defense and defense alone. It won't be because of a great dominant offense. It'll be a great dominant defense and in a run game, and Kyle just has to stay out his way. And that's how his dad won 2 Super Bowls in Denver, okay? They ran the ball. They had great defense. Romanowski was on them teams. Elway didn't do a whole lot passing. And that's how Denver has won all these Super Bowls, including the one with Peyton Manning. It was a defensive team and running the ball. So that's it.
And try to remember the last time a team like that didn't win at all. First of all, you're playing a percentage just running the ball. If you've got a great defense, the other team can't do a damn thing. So offense has got to do a minimal amount because you're liable to be playing against a tough defense anyway when you get to that level of the playoffs anyhow. So whichever defense is the hard course, which team can stay disciplined, usually one wins.
That's it. And I think we can do it because I'm not sold all the way on Buffalo
the Bills
like everybody else is. And I got Miami this week. So everybody, that's one of my early
picks. It's a good
picks.
bet. I think so. Shabazz, Waddle, and on the other side, that's too.
Tyreek Hill.
That's too damn much. And Tua's working well with
and they
it.
monsters.
Oh my God.
And they monsters. And our old offensive coordinator is working miracles. Remember, he was our offensive coordinator. So hey, I'm not so. And you know what? I think he's finna expose him. This week, he's going to pound the ball. Everybody's talking about the run game. He's going to pound the ball. And Buffalo
and
will
most
be
should
exposed.
look damn good the few carries they gave him, too. He looks like Raheem again. I said, he
looks like Raheem again. And that's how you expose him. I think Daniels is going to run that ball and run that ball and run that ball till he get tired of running that ball. And everybody's going to be like, whoa, what happened here?
And then release Hill and Waddle on a team that can't do a damn thing about it. And Baltimore's got a good defense, fam. They couldn't do jack.
Yeah.
I said, wow. That's
what I'm telling everybody. Everybody like, Buffalo, man. Hey, quit crowning Buffalo a little bit. Take it easy with that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Man, Ronbo, but yeah, I just wanted to do my regular check-in. Shout out to you. Shout out to production. I ain't going to burn up all my time. Shout out to my people in Brooklyn that I met for the Brooklyn Empire, the Jersey Empire. Shout out always to my people in Memphis and my man Leon in SoCal. Hey, we're going to see how it goes. And Jimmy shouldn't listen to Kyle. Forget Kyle. Go ahead and freestyle.
At times, I wish he would. You know, Jimmy can't throw the ball more than 10, 15 yards. Yeah, Jimmy tried to tell me, because Kyle told me to throw it only 10, 15 yards. You know, so we'll see what happens. All right, fam. Jabaz, I'll see you Friday then.
All right, Ronbo.
Night,
I'll
fam.
see you Friday, Ronbo.
Looking forward. Night, fam. And Capella says run game and defense wins champ. And you know what? Every year that's usually the case, especially when you get to that level of competition. You can't go in there and do everything you was doing offensively all year to everybody else because you ain't playing everybody else. You're playing a team that's probably as good as you are. So, you know. And Big Boy Lewis says, how long have the 49ers lived rent-free in Rudy's head? Silent counted home. Guys, thanks for those contributions. Rudy, that's why I said this is a preemptive strike on Rudy's part. He calls in and says, listen, we've got this issue, and we've got that, and there's some other things going on. But listen, I hope we can play the 49ers. Both teams can play themselves at their strength. Rudy, you think I didn't see through that? I loved it. Hey, yo, Ellis, are you ready? Ellis.
Ronbo.
Yo, who is this? Okay, guys, listen, don't just stay on mute. We'll bring you in when your time comes. We go by turns, okay? Sorry, fam. Ellis, we're looking for you.
Yo.
There he is. Okay. Ellis, it has been a potpourri of different thinking tonight. Where are you at? There's so many things you could choose from. Go ahead.
Ronbo, can you come up to me next?
Yeah, we can do that if you like.
You lock me in next, or you about to shut down?
No. We you got time. We'll be back next then. Okay.
Okay. I appreciate it.
No problem. And so we move quickly. Well, hey, Jay.
Hey, Ronbo, can you hear me?
Jay, I can hear you. Jay always he has to get this check.
Yeah,
Jay, you're coming in clear tonight. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Ronbo. You know.
Here's the thing. We're shifting gears now, as you know. Kyle made it official today that Trey Lance is going to go on the IR for the remainder of the season. He's not going to come back in any capacity this year. Now, everybody's blaming Kyle for that particular fact being the case. I thought we did all we were going to do on that the other day. And some of the things, Jay, there's so many speculations going on about that. People said that Kyle's probably running. I saw one comment where people saying, well, the reason why he's running Trey that much is because he can't throw the ball. Jay, you know, what are you choosing as far as to believe as we shift gears here? And Jimmy G being working no harder than he was 2 weeks ago. That's coming into this week. It's the things we hear, you put it together in your mind. You can't, I don't know. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm thinking that, some callers said that Trey lost the game week one for Chicago. I don't know if that guy was watching the game right, but that was a team loss, clearly. You know, the defense shut down in the second half, so did the offense did as well. Mm-hmm. And that was a team loss, you know. And Trey did make some nice throws that game, by the way. Mm-hmm. And, he made some, bad throws as well. But, I think he could throw the ball, not as perfect as, Jimmy, them over the middle throws that Jimmy be doing. Yeah, routes, Trey could do, like Jimmy and Trey are different quarterbacks, Ronbo. Trey does something better than Jimmy and vice versa, Jimmy does things better than Trey. So, they're not the same quarterback and,
also, it takes time, Jay. This is another thing people don't understand. Kyle Shanahan's offense, it looks easy for Jimmy because he's been doing it for a long time. And he still makes errant throws, but still, it takes a while to get those concepts down. It's knowing the playbook, like everybody says, well, he knows the playbook. Well, yeah, but that's okay. You can know the playbook. You and I can know the playbook, but that doesn't mean we're going to go out and be able to execute. It takes time to get that stuff down. Trey's had how many opportunities so far? He's not going to look all the way fine just yet. Yeah. He needs time. So that's going to be coming. He throws the ball downfield better because that's his strength. But that other stuff, those precision shots, that timing and everything else with the receivers, that takes time.
Yeah. Another thing, Ronbo, Trey hasn't even played 2 games in a row, Ronbo. That's just the saddest part. Literally, he only.
That's why I said
That's
takes
what's
time.
crazy. He really, in my opinion, all he needs is reps, and I think this team is gonna give up on him, and sadly, he's gonna succeed somewhere else. That's what's gonna happen, Ronbo.
They
In
can't
my
give up
opinion,
on him.
that's what. I mean, I don't
They,
know what's
they,
gonna happen.
they can't give up on him. They gave up too much. This
Yeah.
is the 49ers got to develop him. Although after 2 years not being involved and then coming in next year, it's like he's starting all over again in his third season.
Yeah.
That's a very frightening thing. And then you know what they're going to do?
Yeah.
I can already see it now, Jay.
Mhm.
Jimmy's going to probably be leaving because he's probably had enough of this. But then you got the Brock Purdy versus Trey Lance competition going on in camp,
Mhm.
of which everybody's going to be pissed off. I already see it, because Brock's
Yeah.
going to get a lot of time in this year. He's going to get a lot of practice. They're going to look at him and say, well, let's see how long if Trey can beat him out. If not, we'll develop Trey a little further because Trey has the biggest upside. This could be a circus for a little while.
Yeah, and one last thing, Ron, but I think Papa Dragon he said something about the locker room wanting Jimmy. That was a real report, by the way. Some guy named Mike Silver or something like that, something. But he reported that some of the players in the locker room wanted Jimmy to start over Trey. So that's a real report, And Trey was set up for failure. To be honest with you, they should never kept Jimmy, in my opinion. But oh well, Jimmy stayed here and Trey got hurt, so I guess that was a genius thing, whatever. Because Kyle doesn't know how to use a mobile quarterback. So, but the team wasn't fully 100% behind Trey Rombo. So, they didn't have confidence in Trey because, Jimmy is a winner, by the way. That's why. So, how are they going to believe in him, Rombo? So, Trey was set up for failure, Rombo. That's about it. I'm going to talk about Trey anymore for the season.
And Jay, I got to tell you, this goes back to my theory. All this was going down. I said, there's something very strange about this situation with Jimmy Garoppolo. We could have got rid of him. Why did you guys? I think the 49ers had something to do with the timing on a lot of things here. But that can't be proven. It's just my thinking here because I wonder, some of the reports we heard about the 49ers not being overwhelmed by Trey. I said, you know what? Who is the writer that comes up with these things? I said, you guys make up something that clicks, but you're getting the clicks. I see it, thousands of clicks, But, and then you say later, okay, how did that leak out if it's even true?
I mean, you see the players, Rombo, they looked so happy, Rombo. Like, they looked so happy for Jimmy. Clearly, they didn't care about Trey. I mean, some players didn't care about Trey, but,
yeah,
that's life, I guess. Whatever it's the name of the game, whatever.
But he's a good guy.
I mean, he is a good guy. No one hates him, but, they wanted Jimmy to start over Trey. That's
although I got to tell you, Talafunga, I don't know what Talafunga was thinking. You see that big bag of McDonald's food? Hey, Talanoa, bring him something good to eat. Don't bring him McDonald's. Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, that's so good, Rombo, Shout out Talanoa, Rombo. I like that guy. He's cool,
everybody does.
He's a down-to-earth guy, I like that guy.
You
have a good day, Rombo. Who?
There's a guy on this picture, the one with the Indian girl and the family. Okay, there's the one guy that's got the buddy in there with the long hair. They look like brothers. I'll get his name tomorrow. It's funny.
You have a good day, Rombo.
You too, fam. Bye, Jay. All right, you guys, I forget sometimes. I got to mention, we don't allow racism in here. We don't allow bigotry. We don't any misogynist comments, political talk, and things like that. So, Fernando, you got to roll it back. I'll give you one warning, but stay off the racial comments, please, because we're trying to keep it kind of nice and not real. We get hostile enough when we're just talking trash, but don't go there. Please, Fernando. I'll appreciate it. Thanks. All right. Yo, Ellis. Ellis, are you ready? All right. Ellis will come back. Okay. Hey, Howard. Roof.
What's up, Broncos Brothers? Let me stop. How you doing, man?
Because that chihuahua in the background, you scared him. Hey, Howard. So we're trying to wrap ourselves around what's going on right now. And, because there was going to be a lot of speculation. The minute that Trey got hurt, we went through the pain of losing him like that, which was just tragic. And now, Kyle is getting the brunt of the blame for what took place. And and then you got the speculations going on in all different directions. And then you got Jimmy, who added to the fire by saying things like, yeah, well, you know what? It's kind of fun out there today, and, we should do more of that. But sometimes you got to. I'm laughing because I'm thinking, see, this is going to spotlight what other people have been talking about as well, as far as Kyle being a little overly controlling of his QBs. I don't know. Hey, Howard, are you making anything of this and some of the things that have taken place in the last 24 hours? Anything you want to jump on?
Yeah, it could be something to what Jimmy said, man. Like for instance, like I was always saying, what happened to 2017, Jimmy? You know what I mean? He played with a lot of I don't know, like
zip and
inspirational. He was going
plays.
He was just throwing freely, like just slinging it all over the place. So that's the Jimmy I grew that I liked watching in college in Eastern Illinois, and it just went away.
Howard, it didn't go away. Kyle gave him a playbook and said, "Here's what we do."
No. You're right. That's what I was wondering. Like, what happened to him? So this makes a whole lot of sense, and then I believe it. And it's funny. We hear these things. Like you can just hear what the players say. It's like sometimes they just saying shit and you don't even know if it's what they're saying is true. Sometimes they don't even know what they're actually saying, but they're actually saying it and they just took a jab at them. It's kind of funny to be honest.
Because I'm leaving next year anyway, so I might as well tell y'all now. We ought to be doing a little bit more of this stuff. Give it to Jimmy. I didn't know he had it in him.
Yeah, He probably gonna tell them like, yo, let Trey do his thing too. Don't be shackling him either when it's time for him. So who knows? But yeah, man, you already know how I feel about Kyle. What he did is like, just to piggyback off what Tony said, because everything he said was like, bro, why are you running him like that? This is not a running back. This is not a wide receiver. And I hate the fact everybody keeps saying, oh, with Josh Allen, he runs. Lamar Allen, he runs. Who cares? They don't run in the middle. They don't run there. They run outside. They're outside design.
But you know how it's so bad. That 70-yard run that Lamar ran, he ran that up the gut. He just got through there too quickly. But that's not Trey's style. Trey's not that kind of quick. Yeah. Lamar is quick. Yeah. That's a different kind of runner.
Yeah. So, with that being said, why are you running him 2nd and 8 in the first quarter when you have your 2 running backs and Deebo Samuel, who's gashing Seattle as it is?
I mean, they couldn't do nothing with him.
What's the point of that?
I don't know. I really don't know. But I hate to criticize Shanahan because I feel like I'm out of place. But I love to listen to everybody else get him because Kyle. Oh, I don't know. Was that a good idea?
No, I'm gonna kill him. Because that's, bro, the situation. You should never run your quarterback like that. You said it yourself. He's not a running quarterback like Lamar.
And Twitter dug that up, by the way, too. Twitter dug him up saying that last year and posted him up.
And you are putting him in that situation, though. That's just asinine. So he needs to stand on his decision. Like, yo, I've messed up. My bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just be real with us, and we'll forgive you. But he want to say, you guys watch football? Anybody else?
Kyle's famous for getting indignant when he gets called out on these things. I
It's like,
imagine he
come
had something
on,
to say to
bro.
Jimmy when he came back. Jimmy, if you don't like the
If
way we
that's
run things around here, I can let you see if we can get you out of here now. Would that be
let
special?
me let me play devil's advocate here. So if this is part of your whole scheme of what you're going to be doing for the season, why didn't you run this in the preseason?
Yeah.
I don't recall any zone reads in preseason. Did you?
Ooh, that's a good point because the fact is you don't want him to get hurt in preseason, but it's all right till they get hurt
Right.
during the regular season.
Yeah, and we just seen Jimmy do it a few times too in the last game. I'm like, why are you doing that? Did you not just learn from 2 quarters ago what happened to Trey? And you're gonna try to do it to Jimmy too? And you ready to put Kyle Juszczyk in the game?
Because that's what we're down to, just juice.
Yeah, it's like, what are you doing?
No.
Like, we gotta wrap Jimmy up in some bubble wrap, bro. Like, just so he doesn't get hurt. Like, this for real. This is for real. And I hope he plays. I hope he plays great. You know what I'm saying? I hope he elevates everything.
Oh, yeah,
you know?
because if he does, the 49ers are going to win. This is what we want. So, it's a scary thing.
Yeah. So, I hope he learned his lesson about this, man, because if I ever see Jimmy Garoppolo take a freaking zone read run again, I swear to God.
Jimmy's got to know when to say no. That's what he's got to do. Howard, look at that clock ran out. Howard, let me see you Friday, though, fam. All right?
All right, big dog.
Oof, oof. Night, Howard.
All right, peace.
Okay, Niners, if Armstead is out, Jones will be missed even more. Yeah, Armstead's just, is it a foot injury of some kind? They're not saying it's, they're just saying he missed practice, Okie Niner. I don't know. Hey, Jalen.
What's up, Uncle Ronbo?
I just assume just be Ronbo if that's okay with you. But Jalen, what's up, man? What are you looking at here tonight?
I'm a little nervous about this Denver game. Mile High, going into Mile High.
Yeah. It
It's
is.
just,
because that team's got to wake up sooner or later.
Yeah, they do, because they 0-2. They can't go 1-3. That's bad. At home, and it's their home. Is it their home opener?
No, wait a minute. They won this last week, so they'd be 1-2.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, they slipped by, but they slipped by the Texans.
Yeah, I mean,
their coach is a fool.
I feel like they really haven't just came out as the team that we expected them to be.
Yeah, they got too much. They got too much talent, though. So yeah, I don't know. I keep thinking they're going to wake up suddenly. They got some injuries too, though. I think Judy's going to be out. There's a couple other guys out there. Offensive line, they're not ready for. I don't know, but still, Russell Wilson's done that with the Hawks and still whooped the 49ers. So I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. What about their defense? I mean, they still got Chubb. And they still got Simmons. They got that safety.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah. Their team is not. I just don't understand why they're struggling. They're good.
They just probably ain't got no chemistry yet.
Well, they're gonna get it sometime between now and I suspect between week 8, or else that coach is going to get fired. Because that kicking the ball 4th and 5, you've got a potential Hall of Fame quarterback, and you decide to kick a 64-yard field goal. The percentages of there's been how many field goals that were made beyond 60 feet or 60 yards, and you go ahead and don't play the percentages. Russell Wilson, let him cook, right? You didn't do it, and you lost the game. Ooh. I don't know.
They haven't scored over 20 points yet either.
Yeah, with all that firepower.
Yeah, maybe. I think Russ might be edging towards the end of his career. He took some hesitancy out.
You know what? Because some of it is his fault. Watching that game now, they could blame a lot of things, including that coach. But Wilson wasn't razor sharp either. He was missing people.
Russ, I don't know what it is with Russ. I feel like he gave Seattle literally everything he had. He got a Super Bowl. He got him two.
Well, as I say, I never take that team, as long as Russell's anywhere in the vicinity and the 49ers got to play him, I don't take anything for granted. I'm hoping
Ron,
we can win.
The Cardinals. You think the Cardinals might be a problem now?
Not as long as
Tyler
Cliff Kingsbury's over there. As long as Kingsbury's over there, we still got it. As long as we don't screw up.
Lie, though. When Kyler plays us, he a headache.
Yeah, he was a headache. The Raiders felt that pain too. Kyler, D'Amico knows what to do. We got some pretty active linebackers too. I think we can continue. We remember we damn near broke his leg 2 years ago.
Yeah, I remember.
So you know
I also have a question for you.
Yeah.
Which one of these secondaries do you think is better? The 2020 secondary or the one that we got this year?
Oh, this year. Oh, and by a long, it's not even close. You see, we got away that 2020. Oh.
2020 with Jason Verrett, we didn't have a pass rush. A lot of these sacks we were getting was cover sacks.
You know what, though? Personnel-wise, that was a good secondary. Actually, they ranked pretty high that year, too. You know what? You got a good point there.
J-Dub, Jason Verrett, you had Sherman and now with Emmanuel Mosley.
Tavares Moore was playing good football that year.
Yeah, it was. We had some. We just didn't have no pass rush.
Yeah, see, okay, you put that team with this pass rush, and they probably look as good as this team.
You put that team with a 2019 pass rush? Oh, my God.
But this year, everybody's legit. Everybody's back there in the secondary this year. They're polished. They're vets. The only thing they need is Verrett back there to join them. But Mosley's doing a damn good job. So, Anyway. Jaylee, another point to make. We're going to run out of time. I'll be looking for you Friday, though, if you got time.
Oh, yeah. Also, what's your prediction for the game? You think you predict a high-scoring game?
For the Niners? Kinda. They're going to get over 20 points. How much over 20? I haven't decided yet. 20-something.
25, 23, something like that.
Yeah. Maybe the same as they got against the Hawks. Because if our defense is going to stymie Russell Wilson like everybody else is, that Texans team took them all the way out. Well, 17. They got 17 points finally. Anyway, we'll see. I'll look for you Friday, Jalen. Good to hear from you. All right.
Yeah.
And Terror Dome.
What up, Ronbo?
Terror Dome, man, we're looking at this situation going on now. Now, see. We're shifting now, and as soon as they change the quarterback situation, now all thoughts are starting to just go crazy. People are imagining things, and some people are right on target with things, and then you hear the report about the locker room situation. It's are we going to be okay?
Ronbo, I was in that number, my brother. I really was, but we got to pick up and we got to do 49er things because it ain't nothing but week 3. My man, Wayne Breezy, if everybody gets a chance, I'm not trying to step on your show because
Wayne and I are good friends. It's cool.
But Wayne Breezy had a show today, Ronbo. He was talking, he got nostalgic, my brother. He was talking about 1990, the Super Bowl between the Denver Broncos and the San Francisco 49ers.
Okay.
And he was a little young. And as Betty Wright would say, some of y'all got to think back a little further than others. I'm 52. And, boy, I was in the dorms of Shawan College in 1990 talking big trash. These young – Ronbo, these young people don't know. Me and you, we can relate. Y'all don't know what it was to be a San Francisco 49er
in the late 80s and early 90s. We was talking big trash, baby. We had it going on. Ronbo, man, he had me looking up old music. He had me looking up that Public Enemy. He had me looking up that Babyface. He had me looking up that daggone Bobby Brown. And then I looked at Ronbo, I looked at
Don't forget Boys to Men.
movies that was out at that time. Driving Miss Daisy. I looked up Ghostbusters 2. But then I remembered our roster. Ronbo, do you remember the roster that we rolled out in 1990? Let me throw it down for him. Hold on. Let me let y'all understand. And our goal is to win the Super Bowl. Every year we trying to win the Super Bowl because we had the greatest owner ever. We had Eddie DeBartolo Jr. We had Eddie D, y'all. And I'll try to make y'all understand. If y'all ever saw The Godfather, Jed York is Fredo. Eddie D was Vito, Michael, and Sonny all rolled up into one. Eddie D will stop at nothing to get you a championship. There was no salary cap. They had to make a salary cap because Eddie DeBartolo Jr. would come out and get some of the greatest and baddest players you can ever imagine to come on your field. Man, we had some killers. We had, starting on that Super Bowl team at the Superdome on January 20th, I remember because I drank about 4 40s at the dorm and went over to a net. That's a whole nother story. We're going to leave that alone. Amen. Glory to God. We had the great Charles Haley on one side. We had Pierce Holt on one side. Michael Carter at the nose tackle. We had Ronnie Lott back there playing defense. Man, I put a bet on. Do you know I gave Sean Williams 35 points in Ronbo? We covered. We had Roger Craig at the tailback, Rathman at the fullback. And if y'all think George Kittle is nice, if y'all even think George Kittle is nice, we had a dude named Brent Jones. Brent Jones had 33 touchdowns. If Kittle were to have a season like he had last year and the year before, he would need 2 more to come up with what Brent Jones would do. On one side, we had Jonathan Taylor from Delaware State, and on the other side, we had from Crawford, Mississippi, born October 13th, 1962. 22,895 touchdowns, 1,549 receptions, 208 touchdowns. Jerry Rice.
Terradome, you're coming off the top of your head with these stats, aren't you? That is amazing,
bruh. Jerry Rice, man. I went to Canton to see Jerry go in. They brought him in with Emmitt Smith too, so you know them Cowboy fans was in there too. But everybody knew. Look. Emmitt Smith was Tito, but Jerry Rice was Mike.
Yeah, Rice is still the cream of the crop. Terradome, that was fun. I'm telling you, you got to take us down that road again. We got to go now, though. That was awesome. Hey, I'll be back Friday looking for you, all right? Yeah, And organizer says Mac had over 1,000 yards in 2019 and 2020. You know, you start comparing players of the days gone by and the ones now. This is where the heated arguments get started as to who was the best, actually. It's really funny. Hey, 954 is in Florida.
Hey, Ronbo.
Hey, what is your name?
Chef. They call me Chef.
Wait, say it again.
Chef.
How do you spell that?
SHEFF.
SHT. Wait. Wait. SHTSF.
SHEFF.
Or SHESF.
Yes, sir.
Chess. SHE.
Chef.
Yes. All right.
SF.
All right.
All right.
Let's try.
Also,
Hi, Jess.
I'm getting a little frustrated with all the blaming Kyle for Trey's injury. Yes,
Okay.
he overran him a little bit, but we got to realize this is a running offense, and this is a running offensive line, and that is our playbook. And I feel like Kyle wasn't trying to get nobody hurt. I feel like he was doing what was drawn up the week before. I think we can't judge Trey off of that first game. That was a really rough situation.
No, it rained
with
and
the
everything
rain.
else. Yeah, it's true.
If anybody remembers the 2019 season when we played the Redskins, the Redskins were terrible that season, and we only scored 9 points on them. It's
I know.
just games like that.
We could have
with
lost
the
that
rain.
game. It was scary. Yeah.
Yeah, it's because the rain. You play different when you're in the rain.
Well, it limits
And,
you to what
that's
you
just how
can
it is.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm worried. I'm not worried about Denver. I think that's going to be a blowout. Personally, I think we're going to put up 35.
Yeah.
I don't see. I'm scared of Russell because Russell knows this defense. That's one of the
I know,
things
right?
that I'm worried about.
But Shesh, you know, the thing is, he doesn't know the people in this defense like he knows the ones that last time he played us. That personnel has changed back there. Hufanga wasn't there. Chavarius wasn't there. This new guy I didn't even ever heard of got a pick. Actually, E-Man's actually improved. I mean, he looks crazy good out there now. So Russ is going to have to deal with that without Jerry Jeudy, too.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I think we have more of a chance to go farther with Jimmy than we did Trey. This was going to be a year for Trey to build. Even though that would have been better for our franchise, personally, I'm worried about that down the line because this is not an injury you can come back from fast. It's going to take time.
Especially with his style of play. Now, that means, you know, you take away his ability to run. You know what I'm really worried about, Sesh? I'm worried about his mentality when he comes back, and he's going to be able to think that he can still run like that. Will there be a fear factor? Because I know he doesn't want to go through this twice, not anytime soon, back to back. That would just destroy him mentally to get hurt again running the ball.
Yeah. Well, we all know Jimmy didn't come back the same after he tore his ACL.
Yeah.
Trey's going to have to learn how to throw and stay in the pocket more,
when
especially with that injury if he doesn't.
Or Kyle needs to stop calling those design runs and get rid of power, just for now. Hey, Trey doesn't have that kind of quickness. He's fast, but I don't know if he's quick. Because when you see Lamar Jackson bust through those holes like that, he got through there with quickness, and then he's off to the races. Trey's a power runner.
It's not
so,
just that.
you know.
Yeah. You can't run them in the rain like that either. It's risky. I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't have run my QB in the rain like that up the middle several times. But we do have to realize the outside wasn't working. We tried a few outside runs, and then the middle was working more for us than the outside was. I don't know if it was the rain. I don't know what it was, but I guess Kyle saw that and he wanted to do that.
And it's an option too.
I'm happy with Hufanga.
From what Kyle says, he had an option to take the ball. But you know what? If the edges are crashing down, the running back is not the guy you want to give the ball to. It's a keeper there or throw it. So these are decisions that experience is going to have to help him with, and he hasn't got enough yet. I still say, Kyle, just call the play. Don't give the option too often.
I'm waiting for Ayuk. That's what I want to see the most right now. Is I'm waiting for that breakout. And I see it in Ayuk, but it's just the drops. Sometimes he just doesn't catch the ball,
Which is very strange.
I don't know what's up with him.
He's got all those arms, his hands. I don't
know. Long
arms.
Yeah. I see so much potential in him. He runs routes almost like Devontae Adams.
Guy can run some routes, can he? I mean, if you're trying to cover him,
really
forget it. God. Well, we'll see.
I mean, I think. What's your score prediction, Ronbo, for the Broncos game?
I got 20 plus. I just can't make up my mind where I want to go beyond 20. Because I don't think the Broncos defense can slow the 49ers down. Not really.
Yeah.
And we can slow their
Russ
offense down.
Twice. He knows the defense a little bit. We got that secret weapon, Hufanga, now. And I knew it when I saw him. He was going to be special.
Yeah.
He's matching all my expectations I had for him. He's special. He's special. I feel like that's going to be a safety we have for a long time. Jimmy Ward coming back, that's going to help us out.
That's another 3 weeks away, I think, right? Well, listen,
yeah,
fam,
about 3-4 weeks away.
Yeah. We're going to go. I'll look for you Friday, and you bring that, make up your mind on what score you want. That's what we'll be talking about Friday, all right?
Yeah, Rumble, I want to give you a shout-out. I mean, me, my family, we've been watching you forever, man.
All right. Thanks,
it's special talking to you. I appreciate it. You're the man. And
Thanks,
I love watching you, man. Keep it up.
Appreciate that. I'll do. All right. Looking forward to hearing from you Friday. All right, fam. Night.
You will. Take it easy, Ronbo.
Thanks, man. Here goes Sesh. Hey, Nigel.
Hey, what's up, Ronbo?
Nigel, man, we're sitting here going over the, the media rumbles as soon as things like this happen. And people are piling on Kyle. And
yeah, I did my share of piling already.
You did Kyle
I want to do a little bit more.
Also, we're looking at what to expect going forward here now that we made that switch in the quarterback position. And, what do you think the offense is going to look like? Anything you want to touch upon? Go right ahead, Nigel.
Well, there's a whole bunch going on, but my issue is with some of the fans and the media that protect Kyle so much is like, and it's been mentioned earlier tonight that he has some arrogance to him, and successful people, you have to have a level of some type of ego to you. You got to believe you're the best. You got to believe everything you're doing is the right thing. But there comes a point, and I mentioned this the last time I talked to you, where when there's a history of things that you've done, and it seems like, well, he's not going to correct those types of things, like in Kyle's situation anyway, like just being inconsistent with certain things. And he's consistent with other things, like he's a great talent evaluator, and for all the flack that he gets for missing on like first round picks and stuff, he's a great talent evaluator. This whole team basically is homegrown. I mean, they've
had some help.
They've done a great job.
You got Adam Peters and others, but and the guy we sent over to Minnesota. What was that coach that went over to? I forgot where he went, but anyway, he's had some good people to work with as well, though. But he should get some credit.
Right, and he does. I mean, he's surrounded himself with some great people, but he himself, I mean, he's not above reproach. Sometimes I feel like when my kids do something, like my daughter's has a marker and she's writing on my $5,000 couches, I'm going to go over there and I'm going to reprimand her and I'm going to be like, this is wrong.
Yeah.
You learn, but it feels like there's nobody to hold Kyle accountable. And, some of us have that opinion where, I agree with some of the things that Papa Dragon was saying tonight, that, it feels like he's not held accountable to certain things. And I'm not here to say that, he should be fired or anything like that. And I don't really feel like most of the people that have been piling on him have really said that. It's just more of, we're just voicing our opinions, our concerns, that there's certain things that maybe as a coach he needs to grow on as well. You know what I'm saying? So he's only been a head coach for 5 years. Andy Reid didn't win a Super Bowl for almost 20 years into his career. You know what I'm saying? So there, and he's a great
Everybody's not going to win the
offensive
Super Bowl.
coordinator.
You know what percentage of the teams in NFL right now have won a Super Bowl? This is why when we complain as hardcore as we do about coming away from being in the Super Bowl and didn't bring the chip, you know, it took a lot to get there. So there's no need to get overly mad about not winning it. Everything has to be aligned up perfectly. But go ahead, continue your point.
Right, yeah. So my point is, like, I don't think that I'm the type of person that I'm not necessarily married to the fact that we need to have this one particular person to be successful. Because for 3 years it was pretty bad after Harbaugh left, but for 3 years straight we were in the playoffs in the NFC Championship game till Kyle came. You know, so it wasn't that long before he came that we were already up at those higher levels. Now, am I saying if you get rid of a guy like him that you can immediately find somebody else? Not necessarily, but for just the simple fact that if you have somebody that feels like, you know, oh, my job is safe, like, dude, are they going to progress? I don't know. I mean,
you just got an extension.
Going to the playoffs, and I'm sorry.
Kyle just got an extension. Wasn't that last year? Him and John?
Yeah. And he, like I said, he's a great coach. I don't think anybody necessarily saying he should be fired. We just want to see some progression from him too, because we expect Trey, who's 22 years old, to come in, hit the ground running. Yeah. And, you know, a lot of people gave him 3 games, and they're already saying that he can't do this, he can't do that. He's not a good quarterback. And he didn't even get a chance. But this guy, Kyle Shanahan, has been here. This is his 6th year, and he's been up and down and up and down and up and down. And still there's no accountability there for some of the bad things that he did.
See, Nigel,
so that's where I'm coming from.
We're going to have to develop this point a little further. We're going to run out of time. But no I'll be back Friday, and if you want to continue with that, we'll be looking for your score on Friday as well. But good points, very good points, actually.
Cool,
all right?
Cool. But I'm over it, Ronbo. I'm on to the rest of the season. So thanks for taking my call.
Always
Have
a
good
pleasure.
Rest of your night, man. Go Niners.
All right, man. Have a good night. It was Nigel. And Patrick Mahomes, boy, here he comes with his, okay. And Patrick, you know, I made it a policy not to read whatever you write. Thanks for the contribution, though. Everybody else can read that if you want. And by all means, give Patrick Mahomes, boy, some of his own medicine, as he luckily won that game against the Chargers last week. Hey, yo, Ellis! Ellis.
Yo.
Well, are you ready? Give us some of them Ellis thoughts on what's been developing here in the last 48 hours.
What the hell's been going on?
Well, you know, you got the change going on with Trey and Jimmy, and some of the things Kyle said today. Let everybody know that there will be no Trey back in Week 14. It is official; he's on the IR. We'll see him next year. And then somebody said to Kyle, "Oh, you mean it's like after the playoffs or during the playoffs? You mean? I mean in next year?" No, this year means next season for me. you know, Trey, Ellis. I think Kyle, if he didn't have to do media conferences, he would. I think there are times when he says those things with that smile, you know, he gets a dig in you and he laughs. He just doesn't want to do those. And so, you know, anyway. That's it. That's it. Perfect.
That little snarky,
like I got
little, you know, it's. Well, the problem is he doesn't like being questioned, and you're an NFL head coach. If you were a special teams coach, if you were, you know, on the bottom part of the totem pole, you wouldn't have to talk much, Kyle. It might be, you know, 3 times out of the year, but you're a head coach. So people are going to ask questions. Sometimes they do shit to push his buttons, but other times it's like these are valid questions, and he answers them like an asshole most of the time. You know, I'm not saying that he has to be likable and conform to, you know, the media and what have you, but these are all logical and, you know, very like accurate questions that are being asked of you, and he's, you know, he gets mad and he, you know, gives bullshit answers a lot of the time. He's making himself difficult, and he's a grown ass man. You're a head coach. He shouldn't be behaving like that. You know, he got mad at Grant for asking why the fuck are you running Trey when the run game is working perfectly, and it was, you know, he gave him the downs and everything. Oh, should I have ran him on such and such instead? You know, it's like he sounds just like Chris Sims.
Yeah,
he sounds just like Sims. They're both. That's why they're friends, because they're both assholes. You know what I'm saying? They talk the same. They ask. When they talk, they say, "Does it sound good? No. Should I maybe try and do this and do that? Maybe." They ask themselves questions and supposed to be like, you know what I mean? That's like weird. That's like a weird way to converse with people. You know what I'm saying? Or to respond to some shit. So, you know, there are two peas in a pod clearly, but I'm just saying it's easy to just be a man, put your head up and say, yeah, this was on me. I should have done X, Y, and Z. It's very simple to do that. But because you feel like you want to go to the grave with, you know, with accountability not being held above ground, you take the weaker route. He's not tough because he doesn't want to own up to his shit. That's not making you tough. That's what he's trying to do. But then you're best friends with all your fucking players. But you give shit to all of the other adults. That's just weird. Be straight across on all levels. Don't be like buddy with the players and everybody's your friend and we're real close and this and that. And then you're like, you're an asshole to everybody else. You know what I mean? You don't even want to take accountability. You have to, when you're a leader, that's how you lead. And that's why we have a problem. A lot of us had a problem with Jimmy because he did the same shit and he was talking French all season last year, saying we instead of saying I. Yeah. It's very simple.
Ellis,
you're in your 40s.
Before
you're in your 40s. You're a grown ass man. You got children. Your kids got to learn from that. You know what I'm saying? So
let me just
I'm
ask you one question.
All that.
Let me ask you one question.
Do that.
Would you fire Kyle today if you could? And if you did, who would you be thinking to bring in to replace him?
Sean Payton. Right. Sean Payton.
Because Fangio's name has come up, and I was wondering where would we go from here? So
no, thank you. Fangio as a head coach was shit in Chicago.
In Denver, yeah.
I'll pass. Yeah, Chicago and Denver.
Yeah, that's too many places.
I'm cool. As far as the defensive coordinator, I'll go with Fangio. You know, we're going to have to probably settle for him after the season anyway. I'm not saying we need to fire Kyle right now. He just needs to change and evolve, dude. I mean, you're below 500. You can't hold a 10-point lead. It's the same number as Jimmy Garoppolo. Those don't even have relevance. But it's just odd that he can't hold 10-point leads. He shoots himself in the foot every single time. We give up leads when we're ahead of the game. It's like, I don't understand. And then he's running Trey. He took the whole season away from him, and now he's putting it all on Jimmy. Now, this is a lot of pressure. We just had a lot of pressure on Trey, right? This is going to be a lot of pressure on Jimmy next. And let Jimmy start falling off or some shit start happening. It's going to start to, you know, he's going to start to catch hail and catch heat too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because of these expectations. We have high expectations, as we should, because we're a Super Bowl caliber team. But Kyle is making these rash decisions, and he's not taking and owning up to the shit that he should be along the way. And it's just, you know, you got rid of Jimmy, now you brought him back. Now there's all this, you know, it's the locker room is kind of half Trey or a quarter Trey and the rest Jimmy, but nobody's really talking. And then I'm hearing that players are talking off the record saying, oh, well, you know, we're glad that we have Jimmy back and shit like that. And I mean, it's not cool for Trey. That's not good treatment for Trey. If you guys are all in, then be all in. Because if the tables were turned and it came down to questioning you guys being on the fucking team, Fred, Kyle Juszczyk, whoever on the team, and they said, well, they would be rooting for you guys to be the starters or to be the players, because a lot of the time you guys have the experience. You guys are proven players. Trey needs the opportunity to prove himself, and he hasn't gotten it yet. He's got 3 NFL starts,
and we
got to be realistic here.
We got to pull up though,
anyway.
And you know, you make some excellent
Preach,
points.
my brother. Let him preach, Ronbo. Let him preach.
we ran out of time. That's the only thing. It's true.
Shout out, my brother, man. You know what's going
Hey,
on.
man, you are the MVP caller tonight. You hear me?
There you go.
Man, I appreciate it, brother. I'm just trying to let it off, man, because you know I'm on, you know, my seat burning up right now, man. I got to get up from where I'm sitting right now.
Go ahead, get yourself a nice cold one, fam. I'm gonna see you Friday.
Yeah, no,
right?
it's all good.
You can extend on
Yeah,
this.
no, it's all good, Ronbo. Shout out to the faithful, man. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe, man. I haven't seen Rudy. We put out an APB for Rudy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all look out for him. He ain't said nothing since they almost gave up the game to the Falcons. If you see him in the chat, you know, check his post. Peace.
All right, fam. Good night. All right, Tress, since you're already on the phone anyway, okay. And the Big Show says Sean Payton would continue to start Jimmy. FYI. Thanks for the contribution, show. Tress, it appears that you have something you want to add. Wait, that's Tress, that's you?
No, that's not me.
That's me.
Tress, that's a flattering thing. You know, you establish yourself in such a way people like it so much they want to imitate and sound just like you.
Yeah, Ronbo, but look at him. That was the MVP call of the night, Ronbo. So
Right.
let me tell you something. Hey, Ellis nailed everything. Nailed it. You hear me? Nailed it. Just for me, I don't understand how you could pass judgment on a kid who hasn't been given the opportunity that every other quarterback in this league that's came in has been given without all this pressure, man. Like the national media, as far as the NFL, is homed on one team, and that's the 49ers. You know why? Because right now we're in disarray in the office, in the locker room, all over, because the front office started this 3-ring circus. They started it. They were never 100% behind him, Ronbo. And let me tell you something. Let me show you how they weren't 100%. How they still not. The head coach is not even behind his player that he said is his starter for this year. Okay. Do you go and say that the season is over for Trey Lance? If he's your starter, do you say that in a press conference? No, you do not. If it's a possibility of that player coming back, you say, hey, you never know what's down the line. You never know, he could be back. You leave the question mark out there for everybody. You see what I'm saying? Although you know in your mind that you're going to shut him down for the year, but you don't go and announce it, that it's done, that it's over, because guess what? You never believed in him to begin with. And I'm going to tell you what Kyle Shanahan can't do. He can't develop a quarterback. He hasn't been able to develop a quarterback since he's been a head football coach. He can't. If he'd have got Matt Jones, it would have been a shit show with Matt Jones. He cannot do it. Kyle Shanahan is the type of coach that needs an established quarterback, somebody who has already been raised up, somebody who's already been groomed, somebody who's already been polished. That's what he needs in order to succeed. He can't succeed at trying to bring up his own quarterback. He can't.
Tresh, you know,
because let me tell you what
you also hit upon something I just realized too. Kyle doesn't usually tell people his business. Announcing that Trey was done for the season and emphatically emphasizing that point was pretty interesting. I didn't think about that till you just pulled that up. Kyle would not say that he's definitely out for the season like that normally.
No coach would do that. Ronbo, how many times have players been hurt down there in Dallas? And first thing
and Jerry Jones got him coming in 2 more weeks. Dak will be back.
And we know for emphatic that this man done for the season, but Jerry got him coming back. You see what I'm saying? Nobody does that.
That's a good point. I just realized that's the first time Kyle's done that. And well, when Jimmy got hurt with a knee, it was pretty clear it was the ACL.
Never in on Trey Lance being his quarterback. This is the bottom line. And you know what, people, you know what we're afraid of as 49er fans, not me personally, but I know some of the faithful are. If they're afraid of the unknown. You see what I'm saying? The unknown. Oh, you know, what they don't know about, they're not willing to give it a chance. Well, guess what? You didn't know how well Kyle Shanahan was going to be. You didn't know that. But look what happened. Okay, we did get 2 NFC championship games in the Super Bowl. but you didn't know him coming here how well he was gonna do. We all speculated. You know what I'm saying? So I just don't understand this, man. Like, and even to for people to say fire Shanahan or who we gonna get, it doesn't goddamn matter who we get. It doesn't.
You sound like The Rock now.
It's just the truth, Ronbo. It doesn't. They so afraid of the unknown.
Yeah.
They're so afraid.
And I'll admit to it, because we've had some terrible coaches. I still want to see one coming. And I don't know if I'm ready to rate Kyle up above the green or I'm just see, because if we bring somebody else in here and he makes me mad, if Jimmy Tomsula and I just Chip Kelly's. I don't need any more of those.
Ronbo, look, I get it. You don't want to go through the whole we down in the dumps. This coach
walking
is
in the
not
dark,
a good
even
coach.
in the daytime.
I mean, but look, let's get this straight, and I'm gonna be out of here. The only thing Kyle Shanahan is good for, you know what he can do, Ronbo. You know what he can develop. He is a hell of a developer of some coordinators that can go on and be head coaches and outdo him. That's what he's developed. That's what he's developed. He's good at that. That's the one thing that he's good at.
They all get
developing
jobs.
Them coordinators, and they get jobs, and they go on to be better than him.
And they come back and kick our ass. Because if we lose to the Dolphins, I will not be surprised. I'm looking at that team house assemble and says, damn, look at that. They was down and out to the Baltimore Ravens and came back and beat them up. Oh, no, they didn't.
And Rumble, I'm gonna say one more thing.
Real quick.
And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna say this real quick. You never know how well people always say, this offense ain't built to do this. This offense ain't built to do that. Well, I disagree. Look at Miami and look at all these other teams that coordinators that Kyle Shanahan have. Look at their offenses booming. This offense is built to do big things, but we can't get it done with Shanahan. I'm going to Rumble. TNC out of
Appreciate
here.
you, Trez.
Y'all have a good one. Be blessed.
All right, fam.
All right.
Looking forward to you. Come back and fight if you got some time for us. Always a pleasure.
All right. Take care.
I tell you, I'm scared of Dolphins more than I am.
That's the second best call right there, Ronbo.
There you go. Mom, I'm not Patrick Mahomes boy. Thank you very much. Mamacita. Boom. It's time for Latino Heat. Latino Heat. Latino Heat. Hey, Emilio.
What's happening? ¿Qué pasa?
De nada, amigo.
Damn, Trez and what was his name? What was it, Ellis? God, they hit it on the nose.
Oh, yeah. Everybody realizes that, because, the fire was set.
Not a lot of people, you cut that out, Rumble. Not a lot of people realize that.
But, the thing is, the fire was set. The fire got set 2 years. When Trey got drafted, already they put in motion a ticking bomb. If you're going to do this, you guys got to get rid of this guy. You can't keep both in there and play them both the next year because he's too raw. Well, if he's too raw, then what are you getting him for? So the next year comes.
I did read. I read those days when people were saying that they prefer Jimmy. I said that was kind of bound to happen.
Yeah.
Just because Jimmy was there. That was just. I get it. I get why they did it, but it was kind of stupid. I might do it. If it's Jimmy's team, if it was Trey's team, get the man the heck, get Jimmy out of there, dude. There was no point in having him there at all. It was just a waste of time. Doesn't even make sense. How you gonna tell somebody this is basically telling them you're gonna be the new supervisor, but I'm gonna run everything? Like, what is the point of you promoting me and you still got this guy here? You just, you're wasting my time.
Hey, but you know what? Maybe they thought Jimmy, since he's so cooperative and Jimmy seems so laid back, that they could work this because Jimmy hasn't done anything to bother Trey. Trey still loves him. The players on the team are mainly the problem here. And like you say, Shanahan decided, we're going to keep Jimmy around here and maybe we'll give Trey a couple of years to develop. And then he didn't. Gave Trey 1 year to develop. And then all of a sudden, he never got a chance to develop. This is a mess from the beginning.
I don't know. It just, to me, it just, it don't even make sense. You wasted time.
Wait a minute. Is Fernando still cutting up? Fernando, come on, man. I'm trying not to give you the heave-ho. Okay, production's going to come back through and see if you made any more racist comments. Fernando, I'm serious, bruh. Please stop. And usually I don't get people listening to shots.
Cut that shit out, man. Even I got something to say. Dude, cut that out, man. Racial slurs, whatever you got going on. Dude, cut the shit out. Dude,
No, come on,
it's
man.
It's a 49er channel. We're a family channel. Cut that out, man. Grow up.
Okay. Emilio, go ahead.
Yeah. No, it's like I said, yeah. Damn, I forgot my thought. No, okay, there you go. Yeah, no, it's just going back to the whole thing. It's just them, it's just you hold back another year with Trey's not developing. Like I said, it's just yeah. And I understand what if some with some of the players saying how they felt. It's just because Jimmy was there and they won with Jimmy. Who wouldn't want to keep Jimmy there? Like I said, there was times like I said I was with him, but it just he couldn't do certain things. Let's see what happens then. Maybe Shanahan does do other plays or call different plays or other stuff, but it's just to the point where we got to move on. Jimmy's the quarterback again. Let's roll with it. See how far we can get. Hopefully we get to the promised land, but at this point I'm just trying to see how we're going to really call plays now. We're going to do the same thing, dump the ball everywhere 10 yards and then Debo and you do everything else, or is Shanahan actually going to let Jimmy throw the ball? What are you really going to do?
I'm hoping Jimmy decides on his own to just Kyle, look, I'm going to do this, okay? Because, I'm leaving next year, man. Come on now. People start to believe that crap about I can't throw the ball more than 5 or 10 yards. So I'm throwing it, I hope he does.
Well, he needs to figure something out. Like I said, I'm getting ready for Denver now. I'm about to head out Friday. So.
That's right out. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna leave a link. Well, I'll talk to you on IG. You still got an IG account, don't you? I mean, you don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So okay. Because we got to catch up with excited Emilio in the stands saying, "Man, this game, man, Denver ain't got nothing to offer here, man. I should have went to another game. Man, 49ers beating them so bad, it looked like they got to have to pull the 49ers off of these people." That's what I want to hear. Yes.
That's it, like I said, I really wanted to see Trey versus I wanted to see Trey versus
Russie
Wilson, but
But Russie looks like. Did you see that last game though? Russie doesn't look like Russie right now. I keep thinking he's gonna wake up all of a sudden. But Russie looked bad last week.
It's that coach. It's that coaching. It's bad coaching up there.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson can't make certain decisions yet. They're not trusting Wilson yet. You look at that first game with that 4 and 5. With Seattle, he 9 out of 10 times if we play him, what is he gonna do? Go for it. So he doesn't have that power to call us. So he was doing what his coach was telling him to do. That's
4th and 5.
Like
I'm kicking
we
field
got with
goals.
Shanahan. You do what I say. You don't do what you want to do. So, but it's just I don't know why coaches think like that. Man, you pay these guys to do their job. Let them do it. They're out here to win games, not to waste time. Unless the owner don't care. Hey, give them
a young quarterback.
Do whatever,
but you got Russell Wilson. How many times you seen him under pressure get it done? Give him the damn ball. That coach, he's in trouble.
Yeah. No, like I
don't think he lasts the rest of the
every time we used to play with Seattle, he would always go for it. You'd be like, damn, we stopped him. No, we're going on 4th and 5, 4th and 4.
And he got it. Oh,
one of those situations. He'd always get it.
God. Well, that's why if we beat him up, I'm going to still celebrate. I'm going to understand that it's not the same as it would be in Seattle. He would have beat us, but,
I don't care. It's Russell Wilson. I don't give a damn. I don't really like Russell Wilson anyway.
I know,
So it don't even matter to me.
We need to talk to Richard Sherman about how he feels about Russ.
We're out here to win games, not trying to, trying to easy on these guys. So like I said, as now I'm rolling with the team. Jimmy's the quarterback. It is what it is, Support Jimmy G again.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
I'm gonna take. It's quiet. You have a day off, ain't you?
Yeah, I took the week off. I told you I'm going to.
Oh, that's right. You're leaving town anyway. Well, like Emilio takes a break. He ain't playing. You take some time off. Go watch a ball game out of town. I tell you what, I'll talk to you Friday anyway. Oh, you'll probably be traveling Friday, huh? All right. So I'm gonna get in contact.
No,
with you.
I'm not leaving. What time is what time are you gonna be on?
It's between 7 and 8. What time you got an early flight?
Well, if I do come out, kind of have me one of the first ones because my flight, I'm leaving at night. I'm leaving at around almost 10 o'clock. So You
Okay.
got me the first ones on there. I'll be on there.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll
As soon
make
as
a
you
note
come
of
on, I'll
that.
be on it. So, but you'll catch me at the airport when I'm talking to you.
All right, which will be funny. You got to
All right.
zoom in on that.
All right.
All right, fam.
All
We'll
right.
see you
All right, you have a
Friday.
good night, everybody else out
You
there.
too.
All right.
All right, Emilio.
Good night, Ronbo.
And 707 area code. Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello. Hey, what is your name?
Hey, this is Dark Brother.
Well, hello, Dark Brother. How you doing?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. Hey, I
Right.
just want to say, hey, does anybody else besides me see a 2017 Jimmy G playing out there? He looks just like 2017.
Yeah, for the first few minutes. I mean, that
uh,
was interesting, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was loose. He was creating his own play. He didn't know all the playbook. You know, he was just creating stuff. It was great.
That's what he said in his press conference. Remember, he says, "Yeah, it's fun. I'm out there, go out there and just make plays." I mean, that's sometimes you gotta get out of the playbook for a second and allow these guys to do what they do, especially if they got experience. So we'll see what happens. Kyle must have heard Jimmy say that in a press conference. He walked over to Jimmy Price and says, "So you got a problem with my play calling?" "No, Coach, I'm just kidding. You know what I'm going to do, Jimmy? I'm going to give you a little more leash, okay? So we'll both be happy with that. But I still hope you learn the game plan so you can work out of that." You know, Kyle can at least come that far with it, you know?
You know, I think that's the key for Trey next year. You know, he's got to take some of the plays away, you know, and let Trey just be loose out there, you know,
Mm-hmm.
with a limited amount of plays that he's really good at. You know
Yeah,
what I
because
mean?
your quarterback's going to develop faster that way anyway. Because as long as he's learning to think on his own, that's a good thing for a quarterback. If he's messing up, okay, pull him back in. But in the meantime, let him loose every now and then.
Yeah, I got great hopes for this team, and I'm seeing a lot of good things that I haven't seen since 2019. They're loose. They're not just good. They're loose.
I know.
Like Huff is playing loose. Bosa's playing loose.
I mean, Hufunga's just I think he hasn't reached his potential yet. He is going to be special. Ah, man.
Hey, Ronbo, you heard about this guy, Jordan Palmer, the guy who helped Josh Allen? Hey, why can't we get him to work with Trey in the offseason? Can't we hire that guy?
You know, he's probably
quarterback guru.
Yeah, he's probably looking at a head coaching job. And you can't tamper with those guys unless the organization gives you permission, or else you'll lose a draft. They beat you up bad for that. So unless they're letting him go and giving him permission to talk to the 49ers, he'll have to stay wherever he is. So.
But who's he with now?
Yeah, you mentioned his name, but I don't know where he is now.
He was the guy that fixed Josh Allen's mechanic, man.
Yeah.
Remember how lousy Josh Allen?
I mean, Josh Allen was butt cheeks when he first came in the league. He was wild, and the throws were going everywhere. They were powerful, but they were sailing into the moon. And now all of a sudden he's just.
Man, Trey, I'm telling you, Trey needs that guy. Trey was just like Josh Allen. He needs that guy, Jordan Palmer, man. We can hire him somehow.
They probably thought about it.
You know,
I don't know. I know one thing. Stephon Diggs also made life better for Josh Allen. My God, they've got it going on. Remember, two dudes, I mean, the chemistry is ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, you know, we got Debo, we got Ayuk.
Yeah, you know what?
Come on, man. We got players too.
We do, but Debo and Jimmy, they're no fail intermediate. Jimmy and Ayuk are still a work in progress. Ayuk seems to miss the ball deep. He missed that ball against the Cardinals last year deep. He missed one yesterday, was relatively deep. So they got to get that together. We'll see how that develops, because I know they're thinking about it. I mean, you can't miss those. Those are just the perfect position for you. Ayuk, your career will go to the moon. Just make the catch. So.
Hey, Ronbo, just one more thing, man. You know, the doctor said it's going to be 10 weeks for your leg to heal, right? It's not 10 weeks when he's ready to play. You know,
Yeah, like that, Doctor.
I've had surgery before. You know, you lose a lot of muscle depletion. You know,
atrophy.
after surgery.
Yes.
Yeah. It's gonna take a while before he gets back into any kind of a shape after rehab and then after physical training. It's not gonna be 10 weeks.
They said he wasn't even going to be able to actually. I think he's not going to be walking around until December.
Yeah, he'll just be healed in 10 weeks. People are calling up and writing stupid stuff, you know, that they don't even know about. I just wanted you to make that clear, you know. 10 weeks is just to heal.
And you know what? You're absolutely right. And that doctor that came on, I don't know who he is, but he came out of nowhere. He had nothing to do with the procedure, the examination. He says, judging by the report, stop. He should be back.
No, they took him out of context. He said 10 weeks for him to be totally healed, not ready to play. He
Doc, brother,
ready to play. He said,
and all, we should have known better than that anyway. Nobody's going to come right out of the hospital, heal up, and just start running out on the football field. Doc, brother, we got to go, though. If you got time, great to meet you. Get back in here Friday. I'll be looking for you.
Yeah, I like to call in, man, but it's a hell of a long wait, man. You got a lot of people.
It can be sometimes. But if you got the time,
all right, man, I'll let you go.
All right, fam. Have a great night.
Bye.
And bye. Hey, Naj. Yo, Naj. Naj is a student who usually Naj probably passed out. He does that. Naj, we got to get Naj ready because he's. But Steven and Rome are awake because Steven is watching Rome because Rome just got on the planet and Steven's all excited all the time. I bet he's just probably putting little footballs in it. See, that's a football, right? Here, throw it. Ah, good.
That's about right.
Steven.
What's up, Ronbo?
How you doing, fam?
I'm doing good right now. Me and my girlfriend right now are watching him with a close eye. He just got his shots. So he's got kind of a temperature going.
Oh, no. Is he gonna be, well, he's okay, right? It's just when you say shot, for flu or cold or something?
No. This is his first round of shots on measles.
Oh,
he's
reacting from the shot. Yeah. Immunizations.
Yeah, he has a... Yeah, we gave him some baby Tylenol, but, right now we're trying to get him to sleep. He's been up all day, active. Yeah, busy day today.
Yeah, because that'll heal him up faster the more he sleeps. Well, Steven, you're probably hearing a lot of the rhetoric that's going around, and people are still going after Kyle Shanahan. And we're wondering, how's this team going to look now going forward? Because, they've made judgment calls on with the team, and there's some people being very, very nasty out there saying things like, the 49ers' chance to go to the Super Bowl just improved. It's like the meanest things that can be said right now are being said. And then you have Jimmy on this end, yeah, it's kind of fun out there today. It's, and we should have more of that now, go out making plays. But how did Jimmy put it? There should be more of that stuff around here. You got a little wars, a little fires being set all over the place. Steven, where are you at on these little things that are being said?
First of all, I just want to go ahead and say this because I'm gonna keep it 100% with everybody.
Okay.
Do I feel like Kyle Shanahan is to blame? Partly. Do I feel like that's just the nature of the game? 100%. We have a quarterback who doesn't know the meaning of diving or sliding, for that matter. He runs like he's playing rugby. And you know who used to run like that? Our old fullback from Australia, Jared Hayne. He runs exactly like that. And that's what's dangerous about it, Ronbo. That's the risk you take when you play that running position and you try to play power QB almost on every play. Now, do I feel like, Kyle Shanahan called every play like that? Yeah, but the last play that he did have, that Trey had before his injury, if I'm not mistaken, was an optional read. And that was all up to Trey of whether or not he wanted to, throw the ball or not. Now, do I feel like, if anyone's to blame, really, I got to say, there's no one to blame. That's the nature of the beast, man. You have a fucking goddamn near 300-pound, defensive lineman that just lands on your ankle the wrong way. It's gonna take it out.
Those are huge.
Yeah, I mean, like look at it. Look at MMA. Look at MMA. And people get their shins broken all the time. Are we gonna blame the coach for not having the fighter not having strong bones like that? No, it just happens. It just happens. Now,
yeah, we see injuries every year. There's no way around it. Unfortunately,
yeah, there's just no way around it.
Or Trey. Yeah, at some point, I think people are going to realize that within the days and weeks ahead. Because we get hurt every year.
Yeah. It happens, Ronbo, and I'm not even gonna get mad about it. Because when I saw him go down, I swear to God, I thought it was an ACL. I said he's done. He's done. Because coming as a running QB, you tear your ACL, it's over. Your whole career is almost done. So him breaking an ankle is bad, but not as bad. He could have had what Alex Smith happened to him when he broke his leg. Man could have almost died.
Oh yeah, I know.
But you know what?
Of infection.
We have the opportunity to play him again. We have the opportunity to play him again next season, which is fine. But everyone kind of picking sides and whatnot, and saying that their locker room is divided and whatnot is, it's hearsay. It's hearsay. I'll be real with you. I'm kind of glad Jimmy's back. It's just because, at least we have I guess you could say a better chance. I mean, don't get me wrong. Trey's a phenomenal QB, but at the same time, man, I mean, you can only run so much. And look at what happened to Russell Wilson. People tend to figure you out. Yeah. Look at Lamar Jackson getting shut out left and right. It just happens. And that's the danger about being a dual threat QB. You take that risk, and you know that risk. Now, I have a couple of questions. I mean, I don't know why they brought back Tevin Coleman. We got rid of him because he couldn't find a hole. But
I had
Marlon Mack, though.
Why Tevin Coleman? Oh, no.
I will say that Marlon Mack is not a bad choice. I kind of like that idea of having Marlon Mack on there.
Is he ready to play with this team?
But I want to know where Jordan Mason's at, Rombo.
I want to see him this week. I forgot about him, Stephen, until you just mentioned him. If we're going to run, hey, Jeffrey Wilson Jr., and if they don't like TDP, then give the ball to Jordan. Everybody wants to see him run a couple of times. Come on, Kyle.
Well, check this out, Rombo. TDP did phenomenal that game, but the thing is, he got a high ankle sprain, so he's out for a cool minute. Now,
it is a high ankle sprain. I didn't realize that. Oh man, that was the last.
He's got a high ankle sprain.
That's 4 weeks minimum.
But you know what? I take back everything I ever said about TDP in the preseason, because during the preseason he looked pretty lackluster. When he played against the Seahawks, that man played like a man possessed, and I was so blown away by how well he was doing.
I was wondering why he said.
Yeah, he jumped over people, Ronbo. Yeah. This team surprises me at every moment. Now, I'm going to go ahead and say a couple last things. This game will tell us whether or not if it was Russell Wilson that killed us, because it sure as fuck wasn't the Seahawks anymore. It's not Pete Carroll. So we're going to find out, this weekend if it was really Russell Wilson that was putting, bullets in our back. But with that being said, Rombo, I think the 49ers are going to win a touchdown over.
Yeah, we're only slight favorites as far as Vegas goes. Only slight. But then again, Vegas said we were only 10-point favorites against the Hawks, too. And it should have been 27-0. So.
Hey, I bet my coworker, he was like, "Oh, I'll bet you $20 if they went 6 over." I was like, "Okay, bet." I'll take that bet any day. I was like, if I lose, I mean, it's just $20. But if I win, I'm making 20. I don't care.
Steve, we're gonna go. I'm gonna tell you what. You're gonna win that bet. I'm gonna see you Friday. Give me your exact score too, will you?
All right, Rumble. I'll see you Friday. Have a good night.
Fam. You too. Night, Rome. Let's go check. Hey, JJ. Hey, JJ just dodged a dog, ran out when he's trying to drive that big rig. JJ, man, dude, you've heard everything tonight, because I know it's because you've put in the sound effects all evening.
I don't know what you're talking about, Rob.
I loved you.
You're lying.
JJ, what jump on any area you want. There's so many things to get on. We don't have enough time to talk about all. What are you thinking?
I just think it's funny how all the Jimmy haters were all happy that Kyle finally got him their quarterback, and now that their quarterback's down, they want Kyle fired. What's that? I mean, he said it. You guys, he game planned Trey for 2 rainy games. Of course, he was going to run it. What did you expect?
That's a good point.
And I've made up my mind with Shanahan's team. I'm never buying another running back jersey for Kyle Shanahan's system anymore.
Unless
Seriously,
you buy a cheap one and use it for a towel.
No, but you look at it, Ronbo. I bought Mostert. He was down. He had a great year. Next year, went down. And then here comes Elijah Mitchell. Same thing. He's down. Nothing. Again. I mean, everybody, the first year, everyone was on JaMychal Hasty. Everybody was on Jeffrey Wilson. I'm surprised he's actually lasted
down. Hurt. Everybody's hurt.
Evan Coleman went down. Same thing. And he needs I don't know what he needs. Even a bruiser is not going to work. You bring Derrick Henry, I don't think he'll last in this offense either.
And that goes to quarterbacks too, JJ. That's what really scares me. No matter what. Remember, CJ got killed. I think Mullins. I think he escaped without breaking anything. But if you play offense for Kyle Shanahan,
got an arm.
Oh, that's right. They broke his arm. Tried to break his arm.
I don't know. Oh,
his elbow. If something got hurt.
Something like that, yeah.
But you're going to get hurt if you're playing Kyle's offense. And I keep thinking, is it the offense or is there something we're doing wrong or different? Because we have running backs and quarterbacks. They're going to go down at some point in pain. Even if they stay up, they're going to be in pain. Running backs can't play in pain. So they just got to go.
It's a rough game, bro. I mean, it's a rough game. I mean, Kittle is somewhat of a bruiser, yet he's hurt every single year.
Oh, yes.
Every single year the dude's down.
Started the year hurt. Oh, my God, how bad of luck is that?
And we already forgot that we used to call Jimmy Ward Jimmy Hospital Ward. I don't know if you remember that. But
there he goes. Jimmy's back in it. God. So,
No, I'm not going to say that. I mean, you can't say Kyle's trying to get his players hurt. That's just stupid. You guys remember he was trying like hell to get rid of Jimmy this year. You want to say that he purposely wanted to hurt Trey? I mean, how stupid can you guys get?
No, and also that's not helping the team, Eddie. I just don't know what it takes to keep our guys healthy. I don't see other teams with their. I mean, McVay. Well, no, the Rams had their share of injuries. I don't know. That's how you win the Super Bowl. If you can stay healthy, that's the only advantage you can have.
Ronbo, you said something. You said something tonight too, and I hope I hope the light bulb pops up. If this is your last year, just go buck wild. Who cares what Shanahan says? Right? You, Jimmy, throw the ball when you want. I mean, I think what it is with Shanahan, you guys got to realize this too. Even when Trey comes in there, he's going to follow suit. Don't expect Trey to be doing anything that much different from Jimmy. Like, he's going to do little short passes. He's going to do these little intermediate things. To Kyle, it's a chess match. If you're playing chess with somebody and your little kid comes in and starts moving the pieces around, you don't want that shit.
No.
You move. Kyle's strategic. He moves things. He sets you up, and then when he needs to strike, that's how Kyle works.
That's why when everybody says, Trey can throw the ball downfield, I says, you guys think that Jimmy's not throwing the ball downfield because he doesn't want to? Oh, man. Okay, I already said, okay, I got to tell you, Trey comes in, if you think it's going to be bombs away every other play, you're going to be disappointed. That's Kyle's offense. Nobody believed me, though. Wanted to argue and fight and get mad. So, you know.
I'm not going to lie, Ron. I like the exciting plays. I like the deep ball. It's cool.
Kyle doesn't like them. Kyle likes high percentage plays. I made that assumption year before last. He likes high percentage plays. If he does the West Coast offense, get the ball in the receiver's hands as quick as possible. If that could be 5 or 10 yards away, and let him do his thing. You've already taken the stress off the offensive line. You've also put the secondary positions in a problem. But then he didn't have a speed merchant. So I said, well, how's that going to work, Kyle? Because everybody's stacked in the middle because they know that's what you're going to do. So, all right. But
I'm going to say right now, and Rudy called earlier, he's scared.
I know. That's why he called.
I'm married to a Ram, Ronbo. I know she was pissed. Shit.
And Rudy's always letting us know that he may lose this game. He's letting us know who's injured and all these other people. I'm thinking, Rudy, it's not going to help you. I have no sympathy. If we beat you, we're going to talk crazy. And talk to your boys that are in here now. JJ.
Ronbo, you know who didn't like the deep ball and would rather take a 5-yard slant and take it to the house?
Real quick.
I know you know who it is.
Yes, who?
Jerry Rice.
There you go.
Jerry, the greatest of all time.
Of all time. It's the West Coast offense built around him. JJ, we got to go before production gets us. I'll see you Friday, okay?
No, I want you to cut me off, Ronbo.
JJ likes being cut off. JJ's such a wild man. Hey, let's see if Naj. Hey, Naj. Your Naj passed out. Hey.
She did it. Later.
Brian.
Hey, Rombo. I'm going to make it real short and sweet. We got everybody here tonight and their mom. Okay. And, that's okay because we're all 49er fans.
Yes.
Shout out to you in production.
Thanks.
Man, I got to tell you, it's going to be real exciting going in there to Denver and win it. And if we don't, well, we're not going to talk about that just yet. But,
please, yes.
Hey, once again, shout out to you. I got to say, man, dude, you've been doing it forever. Once again, it's you started us all. Appreciate it. It's real late. I forgot my concentration, my thoughts. I was listening to the chat for so long. I had something really good to say, so I'll remember it just as soon as I get off the phone. But once again, thanks, Rombo. I'll talk to you real soon.
All right, Brian. Appreciate you getting in there. Yo, best of family. Yo, T-Flow. And
yo, what up, Ronbo?
T-Flow.
Allie.
Hey, Allie. Well, T-Flow, if you've been listening for a bit, there's any number of things that you may have an opinion on. You can start wherever you want.
You know what? Everybody said it right. You got to have time for Trey Lance to develop because you cannot develop sitting on the bench and watching. All right, because for instance, I'll go Kyler Murray's rookie year, 5 wins, 10 losses, 1 touchdown. Jalen Hurts, 4 wins, 10 losses, 1 tie. Tua, 7 wins, 3 losses. Josh Allen, 5 wins, 7 losses. Peyton Manning, 3 wins and 13 losses. And look where their franchises are at. They're good. All of a sudden, if you look at them now, they're good.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning had 26 passing touchdowns with 28 interceptions.
Hall of Fame.
So what is everybody talking about? What is everybody talking about? Oh, you know what? Trey's not that good. Trey needs to sit down another year. Nah, he needs to play because.
But you run into with that. The pushback against that argument is that the fact that you have a quarterback that actually has been winning games, right? He had Jimmy. If you're going to do what they're doing,
hold on. I'm going to stop you right there, Ron.
No. I just want to finish it. Okay, but listen.
This is for everybody else. Is it the defense or is it the running game?
T-Flow, the thing is, you had to get rid of all the guys you just mentioned. They came into teams that didn't have a guy that had been doing anything the year before. If you got to get a rookie quarterback in, it's got to be his team from the jump. You can't have, like Aaron Rodgers, if Jordan Love would have came in just because we gave up 2 first-round picks for him, and then you start Jordan Love, well, Aaron Rodgers is sitting there, and I'm not saying Jimmy and Aaron Rodgers are on the same level, but the thing is they both got to the point in Super Bowl and championship game. So it makes it awkward. Now you don't have time for Trey to make mistakes.
Rumble.
It's unfair.
It's easy,
but that's what it is.
You know why? What do great coaches do? All right, Brett Favre, we're gonna put Aaron Rodgers in, and we all know Brett Favre is a Hall of Famer. What did they do? Did they keep Brett Favre on the sideline, or did they release him? Or you know what? Either you retire or that's it. You're not gonna play. So what do? He retired. What did the Chiefs coach do? All right, Alex Smith took him to the playoffs. Thank you, but we're gonna start a new quarterback. You're gone.
They got rid of Smith. They got rid of Smith.
Yeah,
Favre
they got rid of him.
Yeah, these guys have to go though.
What did
Yeah, they can't stay around.
Do? What did Bill Walsh do? The great Joe Montana. What did he do?
All
right.
They played a year together.
We're going after Steve Young. All right, we're trading you to the Chiefs. You're gone because we don't want
Tifo,
no
you answered. You said what I was telling you. You can't keep the guy on the team. You know, otherwise the locker room's going to complain if we're losing games or if we're struggling.
And that goes on who? Kyle Shanahan. And other like you said it. Why is it that every other coach under Kyle Shanahan does good? Because you know why? They're not what they see, what works. They go with it. Yeah. They don't go into, all right, let me go back to scheme. Nah, you know what? Nobody can stop Jalen Waddle. Let me keep throwing at Jalen Waddle. Nobody can stop throwing at Tyreek Hill. Let me throw it at Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Let me see if they can stop them. They can stop our run because eventually they're going to stop our run. All right? Does Jimmy Garoppolo have the down by 21 points in the fourth? Can he come back and throw and win the game for us? We've never seen that. It was always, all right, we're up by a touchdown. They're up by the closest one was the Saints game. That was the closest one, but it was going back and forth,
We were down to the Rams, though, in that last year in the NFCCG. Not NFCCG. That last game of the season, we were down to the Rams by a pretty good score, and we got back in and won that to get into the playoffs. Yeah, you know, the 49ers always seem to play in front, though, with the defense we have. So they've not been tested in that way. When they did, 2 times, Indiana, the Colts beat them up, and the Cardinals beat them up. That's the worst beatings I've ever seen them get in the last few years.
You want to know what's funny, too? You know how everybody's all saying, if you had, like, let's say if the Niners fired Kyle Shanahan, who would you want?
Yeah.
What has everybody's been talking about since last year?
What?
Who's going to he's going to be guaranteed a head coach next year. Guaranteed. This is going to be the last year he's going to be with the 49ers because he's going to be a head coach somewhere. The players respect him. He knows how to play the game. How come no one's throwing DeMeco Ryans up there? Everybody's talking that, hey, this is going to be his last year with the Niners because he's going to be a head coach somewhere else. Why can't DeMeco Ryans be a target?
Yeah, well,
Brian Daboll is another target.
Hadn't thought
with
about
the Bills.
That. Or Eric Bieniemy, who got cheated in Kansas City.
Yep, Eric Bieniemy. Ken Dorsey with the Bills. Like
I got to tell you though, Tifo,
because we all know Kyle Shanahan likes to do what he wants to do. No one can correct him saying, you know what? We threw 2 passes to Ayuk and Ayuk and whatchamacallit, the guy we got McLeod. Ray McLeod.
Oh, Ray.
Let's go back to it.
Oh.
Let's go back to it. Let's go back to it. But they didn't go back to it.
Yeah, Jed York likes Kyle. He wanted him years ago. So it's gonna take a lot for Kyle to get fired. Yeah, he's like Shanahan ever since.
Shanahan?
Yeah, he wanted Shanahan when we had John Harbaugh. But he wanted him for his OC.
Yeah, but is it because of his dad is Mike Shanahan? Is that the reason why?
Yeah, and of course there's a connection there.
Yep. No, Super Bowl. He was offensive coordinator.
Yeah, so is
it? Like, think about it. He got rid of Jim Harbaugh, and Harbaugh has one of the best records as a 49ers coach.
Remember, it wasn't him. It was Trent Baalke who had a problem with Harbaugh more than anybody else. Tifo, we ran our time.
Who's the owner?
There you go. But Jed, what's he gonna do? Harbaugh's had him wrapped around his finger. We gotta go though, fam.
All right, Ronbo.
I'll see you and Allie. I'll see you Friday. All right.
All right, Ronbo. Have a good night.
Good night.
Let's get a little Niner shout out.
T-Flow and Allie. I'll have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, Ronbo. Have a good night.
Night. And please, Big Show says, please remind people who's to say all those new coaches would keep Trey. Every new coach wants their own QB, not a quarterback or pass regime. That's usually the case. Matter of fact, they all do that, don't they? Hey, Tony. Tony. I probably caught Tony doing domestic chores again. Tony's a very busy guy in the evenings. He listens, and then when he gets in, he gets at us. Tony. 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 Tony, you were the last guy tonight. Since Patrick Mahomeboy hasn't called in, I dare him. There you are. Tony, I can hear you. Come on in.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. You know, it's football season's on, and we're going through all kind of weird things. Oh, hey, by the way, Tony, as I was watching, I thought about you. Did you see that Cowboy fan riding a horse right through the middle of a Texas Walmart? Tony, I'm telling you, if it was you and me in Cali or any place else trying to ride a horse through Walmart, we'd be in jail. You know, because Cowboys are grateful for every win they get. They let that man ride through there with a jersey of Dak Prescott on, and that horse was huge. Tony,
it's not surprising.
Yeah.
Idiots.
I finished watching the game. You know, that was heartbreaking. Mariota, you're right. Mariota's got you guys got too much talent, and your defense has improved, Tony. Yeah, how many times you pick off Stafford?
Twice.
Yeah. I said,
One of them was in the end zone.
I saw that. I said, oh, okay, Rams, y'all know you got blessed on this day. Damn it.
And Ronbo, check this out. He leads the league in interceptions.
You knew it wouldn't take long. Stafford, that's what he does. They somehow find a way to get over it. So far, they got away with it. But what was it? I got a kick out of that one Ram. What's his name? The edge rusher. When the game was over and they recovered that fumble, he just threw his helmet across the field in frustration, like, damn. I was delighted. Hey, y'all look a little frustrated. Y'all know you didn't win that game. I loved it.
Ronbo, I'm not mad at my coach or Mariota, but that interception, Mariota, all we needed was 13 yards. He tried to get it all. He got the
I saw that.
1:11 left.
I saw that.
13 yards. That way we got him up against the wall. It's inside the 15, and then we could run the ball. We got all our timeouts. We could run the ball, make them call timeout, or we call timeout. That way when we score, they have no time left on the clock.
Who is your head? Well, who's the head coach?
Arthur Smith, the former Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator.
Yeah, Arthur Smith. Sometimes, like that coach in Denver, sometimes I'm wondering, you know, the average non-football-minded person even understands that was not a good thing to do. Why did you do that, Coach? And then they end up.
Yeah.
But you know what happens, don't you, Tony? Some of these times we're seeing things that are just absolutely insane actually work, right? And nobody has anything to say then. It's when they fail is when people get on them. So, you know, because that dude, when he made that 64-yard field goal, when Russie was trying to beat the Hawks, it's a great play. Great. That kicker's got a big leg, you know. But no, you got Russell Wilson, potential Hall of Famer.
You actually got some of your fan base accusing Kyle Shanahan of trying to get Trey Lance hurt.
Yeah, see, I don't even entertain that. I don't even get involved in that conversation. You know why? Because that just don't. Oh, I say Kyle is not wicked or evil. You know, why would he do that? No.
Yes.
Although
ignorant.
I do think that Kyle should maybe have been a little more aggressive in his play calling with Trey. Don't let him make those choices. You're gonna have him out there running RPOs. Do it every now and then, but otherwise call a play for him. Yeah, whether it be a design run or whatever. But I don't know about. I don't know if he's ready to make choices on his own yet.
I was telling him in one of my chats tonight, hey, we need, from what I've been watching, Mariota's doing but he needs to use his arm a little bit more than his legs. You know, you got You got Cordell Patterson in the backfield, and in the receiving game, you could swing him out.
Mm-hmm.
You got Drake London's having an outstanding year so far.
I saw that touchdown.
He's like fifth in yards. Everybody, that includes rookies, fifth of anybody. You got Drake London and you got Kyle Pitts. That's 3 former number 1 picks, man. Use your weapons.
Kyle Pitts. God, man, there's Kyle Pitts. He's one of those few guys I watched in college. This dude, man. Oh, he just go on the pros.
He's only got like 6 catches in 2 games, man.
Because you guys got too much talent out there.
We got to get Kyle Pitts involved starting now this week. Oh, we got to go up against that monster, Abraham Lucas. How did y'all do against him, the rookie right tackle from Seattle?
You know, I'm going to go back and watch that game just to see who you're talking about. The Seattle did a good job at the beginning of the game. The pass rush was not getting to Geno. I think they finally wore the Hawks out. We start getting Nick finally dropped him twice, Geno. Mm-hmm. But in the beginning, we weren't getting in. I was constantly coming. Yeah, they're kind of containing our pass rush. I'm kind of disappointed in that because it was a little tight there in the beginning. How are they holding us back? And then you mentioned this guy you're talking about now. That kid, those edges they got, tackles they got are going to be okay. They just need some seasoning.
They hit home runs for both of them, Ronbo. And the way Abraham Lucas played in the preseason, and then I saw him week 1, he may make the Pro Bowl. And he was a 3rd-round pick, and they got him in the 3rd. I think he was a 1st-round talent.
Because the Hawks are not famous for drafting, I'm surprised they haven't did just like the Rams. After picks, we'll get rid of those, and we're going to get established players in here, and we're going to the Super Bowl. Well, they've been there twice, Tony, which really does piss me off.
They had a backup center. No, we didn't get to Stout. I was frustrated. We got to him late in the game once. I wanted us to get him like we got Famous Jameis. We got Famous Jameis 4 times and almost had him another couple times.
See, your defense is they're young, they're building. That's how you do.
Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Did you see the block punt that we had?
Yeah. And I said, they're making the Rams look mediocre out there, and the Rams got blessed on that game. It's like you said, that last play drive, that was a comeback. All they had to be orchestrated properly. And the Rams come out of there with an ass whooping. And that's exactly what I wanted.
The kid that blocked the punt was Trey Anderson out of Montana State. He was our 1st, 2nd-round pick. He's going to be taking over in the middle once he learns the game. But that dude's fast at 6'4", 235. He's
6'4". So you know what?
235.
You guys are going to be competing next year. That's the truth. You may start competing this year, but next year, after those kids get some maturity and more experience, Falcons are back.
Yep. And y'all shut their running game down, huh? I heard that they didn't run for much against Seattle last week.
No, they didn't get no yards. In fact, they got less than 50 yards, as I remember. Yeah. So
I'm sure we saw the film, and D&T is going to make some adjustments. That's going to be a good matchup, us against Seattle. That's going to be a good matchup.
I would bet on you right now. I can't imagine, from what I see against the Rams, the Hawks don't have – they lost also their all-pro Jamal Adams. Yeah. You got no business losing that game.
He averages 26 points a game, but we giving up 29 points a game. That's got to change. That's got to change.
You know what? Have they got anybody that can cover DK and Tyler Lockett?
Yeah, AJ Terrell. Terrell.
Yeah, because we.
All pro.
Because E-Man Mosley was in there knocking stuff away from. He got called for a penalty, but I said, Geno can't hit his targets today. That secondary is doing a job. And there's a few times he had plenty of time to throw, but our secondary was in there. It used to be, if the secondary shut things down and, the whole cut the head off the snake thing, the secondary is going to be fine. But the secondary, sometimes we weren't getting there. Geno had free reign to throw, and they stopped him. Look at that.
Ronbo, y'all don't blitz hardly at all, do you?
No, they don't believe in that because I think they believe that when you got Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead, Javon Kinlaw, and Ebicom you can afford to have guys back in coverage. You don't need to rush any more than that. Every now and then you see Hufanga looking like he's going to threaten the blitz, and that's effective too. You don't need Hufanga is just amazing. His instincts and his football IQ, it's off the hook. Tony, that dude, he knows just where to be. He reminds me of Richard Sherman, but a little more tough.
Mm-hmm. I hate to say it, but Tampa is back in the running with that patchwork offensive line because their defense is still good.
I knew it.
So I see you guys, Tampa, Green Bay, and Philly to decide who goes to the Super Bowl from the NFC.
I'm glad you didn't mention Dallas because Dallas thinks they're going to get Dak back in a couple of weeks and contend.
They're going to get Dak back in a few weeks and keep losing. That's what's going to happen.
Bring Dak back and what's his name? Who's out there? Who's out there starting for the Cowboys right now?
Cup.
Yeah.
Cooper or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. He got a strong arm though, but
Dak will have to sit down and let him back in because he's going to win one more game. Yeah. I predict before Dak
some good
gets
matchups
back.
this week, Ronbo. Ronbo, I told you. I know you probably forgot.
Which one?
Jets are a good football team.
Hey, I was so happy with Robert Saleh when the Jets pulled that off. Man,
Flacco was slinging it.
And
you remember Cincinnati beat the Jets last year?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Jets beat Cincinnati last year.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who Cincinnati plays this week? At New York again.
And
yep.
Cincinnati needs some help on that front line. But Burrow's looking over his visor at that attack.
I don't get it, Ronbo, because they got 3 free agents. The one from New England, the one from Tampa, and Lyle Collins from Dallas.
And they ain't ready.
They spend a lot of money
Tony,
on 3 guys.
We got to go. I'm going to tell you what, I'll be back Friday looking for you as usual.
Yeah, Jamar Chase, wide receiver Cincinnati versus Sauce Gardner, cornerback Jets. That's going to be interesting.
Ooh, yes. Yes. All right, Tony.
And last thing, I know I got to go. Kansas City's at Indy. I'm pulling for Matt Ryan. They need this win. That's going to be a good game, too. Don't be surprised if Indy wins.
I hope so. So Patrick, my homeboy, he wanted me to read this comment. You can read it when you see it. I'm not reading it. I told you, my homeboy, it's my policy now not to read your comments. That's all. See you Friday.
I'll see you Friday, so you have a good
one. You too. Night. I almost forgot. And my homeboy, it gives me great pleasure not to read your comments, even though you left a note saying, read my comment. Fam, thanks for the contribution tonight. Even you, my homeboy, you clown. Subscribe, please, so we can find you. We get back to have more fun. And hit that like. Don't forget to like. Hey,